Ladies and gentlemen, what's happening? How we feeling tonight? Wednesday, September. How we feeling tonight? We got another great episode. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Make sure my volume is up. How we feeling today? It's gonna be a great show. We got Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me put a test in the chat. Make sure it's working over here. Yeah. Darius was good. Hope everybody's doing well. We got a great show. Yes. Seen a heart. Got a heart in the chat. Got a thumbs up. D. Burton, what's going on? Dad, what's going on? Waiting for my guy to pull up. Tyrone, what up? I'm excited about this episode right here. Yeah, this guy right here, he rings out nationally. Everybody, if you can, just throw something in the chat. Make sure it's working. Okay, I see everybody tapping in. Coach Ty, what's going on? Okay, we got the legend here himself. Let's go ahead and get him on here. Diving right in. D, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Am I
I can see. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Yeah, I can see. I can't see you. You you got your camera either turned off. It just has it's got your name on it. Sharice, what's going on? Hope everything is going well on your end. Paul Culberson. Let's get the Long Island Panthers in the chat. We got the guy. Where's S1 at, man? Happy birthday, S1. I know it's his birthday. Let's see if Guy's ready. I'm gonna add you. See if your camera is up. Okay. There we go.
All right.
Yes, sir.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Trying to figure it out.
We doing it together.
Let's go then. Let's go.
We're doing it together, man. So this has been something that people have been anticipating for quite some time.
Uh-oh.
So quite some time. So we got a nice show to give them tonight, man. I'm excited about this conversation, man. Your name rings out, so I appreciate you tapping in with us.
I appreciate you doing this. I think this is a long time coming, and I'm glad someone reached out to me to tell me that you were doing this. And I looked at it a little bit. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
This is why I started this back in the days, for people to recognize the players in Long Island, that Long Island, was second to none, back then. So thank you for doing this.
You're very welcome. So Key, what I'm going to do, I'm going to introduce the show, then I'm going to have you introduce yourself, and then we're just going to dive into this amazing conversation.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Tap In with Tristan. We have a Facebook Live edition. We have a Long Island basketball history edition. And I'm really excited about this guest. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gary Charles. I am the founder of the Long Island Panthers that changed to the New York Panthers. And I'm happy to be here.
I appreciate you, Guy. Listen, I think it's appropriate. Well, first of all, what we want to do here tonight, just so, kind of set the record straight, is we want to celebrate you and just tell you how much we appreciate you for what you've done for Long Island basketball. And at the same time, give you the opportunity on sharing this platform to educate us on your journey.
Absolutely. I'm waiting. I'm ready. But let me just start off by saying this.
Please do.
My apologies to whoever I forget, because it's been a long time. There's been some great players. I also want to start off by saying, hey, Devon Smith, you're not going to be named as one of the great players, okay? So I just want to put that out there right now.
Oh, you definitely got to put that out there.
Okay,
Devon, you may not get mentioned again for the rest of the night.
Yeah, exactly. That's my guy, but he just might get mentioned again, okay? I just want to put it out there, okay?
I like
so
that.
Vanessa, keep him calm.
I like that disclaimer. So, Devon, just sit there and enjoy yourself, man. Just sit down and enjoy yourself.
Enjoy the show, baby.
I think it's appropriate for you just kind of just take us back to when it started, man.
Most people know me as one person, what have you, but obviously they don't know me how I started as a kid and everything else. But I was voted the most outstanding athlete in middle school.
Okay.
I was one of the best athletes in the town of Roosevelt. Yep. I actually played baseball, basketball, football, track and field, and I bowled. See, my dad was not even trying to hear about you staying home. You out.
Get out of here.
Out. You out. Now be back before dark now, but you
Right.
out. Okay.
Right.
So so my parents, and I had the opportunity to have, both my parents. And if anybody knows my mom, like Devon does, like my mom don't play that, okay? And there was something that my dad told me a long time ago when I was young. And he said to me, just remember you have 3 brothers, younger brothers, you're the oldest. And whatever you do, they're going to do that. And I really took that to heart. So I had never smoked in my life. I've never drank in my life, never gotten high in my life, because I knew I had to set a standard, for my family. And we have been totally blessed. And all 4 boys went to college. All 4 boys, became successful. And my dad always attributed that to the way I carried myself. So all my accomplishments, that's, one of my highlights that that I will always remember.
That's beautiful, Guy. Now, you said that you went on to go in college and everything like that. So where did we go? How is this basketball still going on? Was it a part of your world, high school, going into college?
Yeah. So I played on a biddy team. It's so funny for Roosevelt. And there was a gentleman by the name of Jim Simpson. So a lot of my philosophies came from Coach Jim Simpson from Roosevelt. So we used to travel around the country, and we were pretty good. But the funny thing about it, it seemed like we always end up having to play damn Hempstead in biddy basketball championship somewhere. Whether it was in New Orleans or whether it was upstate, wherever, Hempstead was always in our damn way. And I will say, half the time they got the best of us. I'm not gonna lie, they were that damn good. And I'll never forget, they had a young man who actually lived in Roosevelt, but played for Don Ryan. Don Ryan was that dude. Okay, he was that guy. Matter of fact, Dr. J lived in Roosevelt, but he started out in Hempstead, but then moved to Roosevelt, played for Don Ryan too.
Okay.
That's what we understand. That's how big time, Hempstead Salvation Army team was.
Big time.
And there was a kid named Doug Mills. It seemed like every time I turned around, we had to face each other. Okay, that's why I guarded and he guarded me. Okay, and Doug to me was the first player that I had to face that I thought was like a damn superstar. Like he was that guy. And he ended up, going to Richmond and then later on in Hofstra. Matter of fact, his older brother, let me give you a little nugget. His older brother played for Princeton. His roommate was Craig Robinson, who he used to bring. I'll tell you who he is in a second. Who he used to bring to Roosevelt Park in the summer to hang out and play ball. And his sister used to be calling Craig all the time, checking up on him, make sure he was all right. Well, Craig Robinson is the older brother of Michelle Obama. Okay.
Look at that symmetry.
True stuff. All right. And Steve Mills ends up becoming the president of the New York Knicks. Okay.
Look at all.
Right, from Roosevelt.
Look at all of this.
Yeah. Now, remember now.
Wow.
Dr. J came from Roosevelt. I also grew up with Eddie Murphy. All right. We were a classmate, but we were in the same school, and sometimes we walked to school together because he lived around the block from me. Eddie was a clown from the minute I met him in 6th grade. Eddie never stopped to do an impression of me and everybody else. He did the Bruce Lee impression, Elvis Presley. Eddie, can you please shut the blank up? He just never stopped. So he was, who he is. And Chuck D, was part of us that grew up with us, and always that chill guy.
Yep.
He didn't say a lot, at the time, but we played baseball together. And one of the years when I did play, my team won the championship. So sports was a major part of my life. Like I said, I bowled. I even bowled with my parents. We bowled in a league. Okay, so they just kept us active. And and one of some of my most memorable moments was some of the trips we took. And when we went on the trips, and I don't know some of the guys from Hempstead, if you remember, if they did the same thing, but we stayed in other people's homes. We didn't stay in a hotel.
Okay.
We stayed at host family.
Host family.
Yep. And I gotta say this to y'all. Every place.
We lost you, Gee. I was leaning into the story. Gee, unmute. Let me see. I think you hit the mute button. Unmute.
Yeah, you know what happened? Someone was calling me. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Stopped. So I don't know where I left off at. What the last thing you heard?
What was the last thing I heard? Well, we said you was with the host family.
Yeah, host family. And I was saying that most of the time they were white. They weren't black. And I don't care where it was. That's what it was. I can't even remember the first time I got on a horse. It was a white family that showed me how to ride a horse.
You was riding a horse?
Yeah. It's crazy, man. I'm like, what the you're doing here? And we were in the country now. And I remember that we were going to have pancake one morning. And I'm looking for the, maple syrup. They're like, no. We got to go to the tree and go get it. We got to go take it out the tree. I'm like, what? And sure enough, it went out there right from the tree. I remember those things. Like those things are everlasting, in my life. And I never forgot just how gracious those people were. So I have to admit to everybody that my experience in the world of being around white people are different than, a lot of us. All right. So just let me say that. But so carrying on, with that. And yes, I did play. I played on the Roosevelt school team. I was a starting point guard. I remember my freshman year. We actually won the freshman championship, and we beat Hempstead. The freshman team. Yeah. We beat them. Yeah. Because I heard Darius about, his what he went through, Darius Burton. I heard what he went through to get Hempstead, but we got them. But Hempstead, growing up, was that program.
Yep.
And let me explain something to y'all. I'm talking about from the 70s.
70s.
Hempstead was loaded. Hempstead, Malvern, Westbury. They were those teams. Yep. And and Roosevelt's phenomenal. And as I think about it, I think about some of the guys and some of the things that they did. If I knew what I know now, man, all those kids should have been Division I players. And I'm talking about all the schools I just mentioned.
All the schools, that neighboring area right there.
There was just that much talent.
Yes.
All over the place. And so that was the shame of it. But we'll get into that. But so then I had my transfer to W. Tresper Clark, which is located in Westbury.
Okay.
So just so everyone know, at that time, Trustful Clark had a program in which if you passed that test, you could transfer to the school and you took mechanical engineering, electronic engineering, or architect engineering.
Okay.
I didn't want to do any of it. But my mom said, take the test, guys. She wanted to see where I was. I said, Mom, I'm not going there. I'm like, I'm on the school team. I was the
Yeah.
starting point guard at the time. I'm like, I'm good.
I'm good to go.
I'm good to go. So take the test. I passed the test. So, but my mom doesn't know it. I said, oh no. I take the envelope and the letter. I hide it under my bed, under my mattress. All
Okay.
right. And one or two of my friends who's also on the freshman team, Rod Barnes, he was also a starter. He said, I'm going. But Rod was a AP kid, advanced placement.
Yep.
I was an A2. I'm like, man, I'm not going with your geeks, right? I'm staying
Yeah.
right here with the fellas.
I'm locking right here with the fellas. I'm locking in over
Lo,
here.
lo and behold, 2 days before school starts,
Oh,
my mother finds the letter. She
oh, she
said,
found the letter.
she finds the letter. I come home. She said, when were you going to tell me
Oh,
about
no.
this? I'm like, well, Mom, I didn't think it mattered because you said you just wanted to see how I would do. She said, well, you're going. I said, Mom, I'm not going.
I'm
Oh,
not
you're
going.
going. I said, Mom, I'm not going.
I'm the point guard. I'm staying here.
I'm staying here, Mom. First day of school, I'm at Trustful Clark.
Yes,
Okay.
you are. I already knew it was winning that one.
I'm at Trustful Clark. So I never forgot that. And by the way, I was the starting center fielder as an eighth grader on the all freshman Roosevelt High School team. Okay. So I had already built my rep, everything else. And here's the other thing, everybody. I was dressing up from eighth grade on.
From eighth grade on, this was
From
you.
eighth grade on. This was me. Okay. And it's important to tell this story that in sixth grade, my dad came to the school. My dad, everybody, is 6'3", 6'4". But my mother is 4'9", so now you know where I get my height from, okay?
Right.
And my dad come to the school, and my dad was working for IBM. My dad was one of the first black to start working for IBM.
Okay.
And but everybody at that time around used to confuse him with Muhammad Ali, but he was being called Cassius Clay at the time. Now,
Right.
back in those days, all of us look alike, if you know what I mean.
I know what you're
So,
saying.
all right. So when I first moved from Haiti, we moved into Brooklyn. We were in Brooklyn for
Okay.
5 years. So everywhere he walked, Cassius, Cassius, Cassius. So, my dad was that dude. Okay.
Okay.
So, but anyway, when we went to Long Island, he comes to the school. I'm watching the way the teachers are looking at him.
You
Like,
watch.
I see all the women, how they're looking at him, right? And my dad he got his three-piece suit on. Okay. So that's how he rolled.
Yeah.
Okay. And I said, that's going to be me
That's
when I
what.
get that chance. Okay.
Yep.
So now, when I get to the eighth grade, we go on a school trip. So, on a school trip, you got to get dressed. Prior
Okay.
to that, I was always dressed nice because, my mom wouldn't have it any other way
You
anyway.
having it.
But my teacher, Miss Jokes is her name. What's her name? Miss Jokes, to us, if anybody, the audience, ever seen the movie Coffee with Pam Grier was all of everything to the young guys
Absolutely.
and the old guys, okay? Everything.
Everything.
Miss Jukes reminded me of Pam Grier. So you know where I'm going.
I see where you're going with this.
Okay, so she said, we came back, she said, Gary, you look good. You should do this more often.
Oh man.
Final store, baby.
The
You
rest is
got me.
history.
Here we go. The rest is history, okay?
I need about 30 more suits.
Boom. Okay? There you go.
So, Gee, I mean, this thing was etched into you for a long period of time. You dealing with so many different people. You being diverse. You dealing with the white demographic. You're in their homes. You're dressing early, right? You're astute. You're able to, you know what I mean, conduct yourself a certain way, and you're involved with sports, man. So you're hitting this thing, and you got your parents that are being examples for you around this thing. So you was on the way to be able to do exactly what you ended up kind of doing.
You know, Trish, I tell people this all the time, right? When people, like Eddie, Eddie always had jokes, Eddie Murphy. Man, what y'all dressed up for, man? What are you doing?
What are we
Okay, you're
doing
making us
here?
all look bad. We're making us all look bad. But I used to tell people, even in college, because in college I used to carry a briefcase also. Back in college, I was playing that part.
What college did you go to, Gee?
I went to Cheney University. I
Is
went
that
to HBCU,
HBCU?
school,
Okay.
and there's a story behind that. Loved it. I'll never change any day or anything on my 4 years of Cheney University. Okay, but I used to tell my classmates then when they would go, "What are you all dressed up about?" And I would say, "Because I'm preparing for success." All right.
Yep.
See, you gotta understand what your goals are and what you're trying to achieve. So whatever that goals are, you need to play that part. All right. And let me just say this, because I got about a million saying, but one of them is that if your goals don't scare you, then you're not dreaming big enough. All right. So
Yep.
that was always my mentality. And then also, I don't want people to think I'm just out here bragging. I'm not. I'm just giving you facts.
We painting the picture.
Okay, that's really what I'm doing. So yeah, and by the way, while I'm at Cheney or even high school, my friends like to say Gary was the first 13-year-old I ever seen with a car. Okay, I've had a car since I can remember. All right, I was that young. I always had a car. So you know what that brings. All
Yeah.
right, so I'm the guy,
You the
so to
guy.
speak.
You
And
the God and all that.
I used to work for Newsday. I was the first person in Long Island that Newsday allowed to do the newspaper with a car as a teenager. First one. And they gave me like 300 paper and doubled my salary.
Wow.
Me being a businessman, I turned around because my brothers used to do papers also.
Mm-hmm.
I turned around and I said, quit that. We're going to add it to my pile because I was getting more money. So I upped the money he was getting and had him doing the papers. I had another brother doing the same thing. So now they're making more money, but they're doing my job, if you know what I mean. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
And
you
I'm
outsource
getting
it.
mine.
Subcontract.
So I was doing this for the longest, and now that was my money that I was able to use to buy my suits.
My suits.
Okay.
I see where you
So that's where my head was
early in the
all
game.
along, early in the
Early.
game. Okay, I didn't care. And when I got to Cheney,
Mm-hmm.
there was me and one other freshman had cars. At Cheney's in the woods. If you don't have a car, you cannot get to anywhere.
You
That's
stranded.
how you're in the mountains, you're in the woods, you're done.
What
Okay?
state is that in, for those who don't know?
Pennsylvania.
We in
Cheney
Pennsylvania.
University is 30 miles outside of Philadelphia.
There you go. There you
All
go.
right. Now, I couldn't make the team because the team that good. The year before, the team had won Division II, had won the national championship.
Okay.
The head coach was John Chaney, the Hall of Famer from Temple. John Chaney was
John
the
Cheney.
head basketball coach. Okay,
Cheney at
and yep, and my physical education teacher.
Okay, so you was having like direct dealings with John Cheney.
He would stop gym class 10 minutes early, make you sit down, and talk to you about life lessons, how to be a black man in this world. He was unbelievable. Now check this out.
Wow.
The women coach was Vivian Stringer.
See Vivian Stringer?
C. Vivian Stringer was the women coach.
Oh man.
You understand? So two Hall of Famers, two
You
future Hall
Hall
of
of Fame
Famers. All
and
right. As matter of fact, our Cheney girls played in the first NCAA Women's Championship. We lost in the championship to Louisiana Tech. The
wow.
Cheney girl.
La
All
Tech.
right. When I first got there, I go to the gym and go play ball. You're playing intramural, you're playing ball. All of a sudden, a young lady comes walking in and says, "We got next." And I'm like, "What?" A girl told me they got next. For me being who I am, I said, "Let me be cool. Let me see what this is all about."
Let me see what this is about.
All right. They got on the court and those girls won 5 straight.
No way.
And they said, "Oh, yo, we got to go." And they just walked off. I'm like, "What the hell was this?" And somebody said to me, "Oh, that's the girls' team." I said, hold up. We're like that? They said, "Yeah, man. Wait till you see the coach." Vivian Stringer. Absolutely. So that's how we roll the chain.
That's
Okay?
amazing. That's
That's how
amazing
we
back.
roll.
That's amazing back. So I mean, you're getting gems from Hall of Fame people, right? You're getting gems from your parents, right? Look apart.
All the
That's
right people.
that's super great. So slide us into how do we get into this Long Island Panthers type of
So,
situation? When did this come about?
okay. So now all of a sudden, my mom, by the way, for the record, you're in the 70s and the old heads out there, was one of the first people to start doing Jerry curls in Long Island. Period. My mom was that. So everybody used to come to my mom from everywhere to get their hair done. She
Oh,
would set up a
she
shop
was
down
the
there.
stylist.
Huh?
She was the stylist.
Yes. My
Okay.
mom was the first one to start doing it out here.
Oh,
Okay?
so she was in high demand.
High demand. So everywhere. So she had this one lady who said, you know what? I like you. I want to help your kids out. I want to see if I can get one of your kids an internship.
Okay.
Okay. And next thing I knew, I was doing two summer internships in Deer Park, by the way, a company called Eaton Corporation. And my last summer, the board said to me, Dad, when you graduate, there'll be a job here waiting for you. So within 2 weeks that I graduated, I'm working full time. I'm not as a scientific programmer. I was a computer science major.
Computer science.
Yeah, so I'm a scientific, the title was a scientific program. I don't know what the hell that meant, but that's what I was. I was working on the B-1 bombers, J-Star project, all these things. That's what I was doing.
That's official
Okay,
though.
doing it. Now, the year after I graduated, Chris,
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying a house. Within a year, I'm buying a house.
This is
Point blank.
phenomenal.
Okay, true story. Because at the time, the young lady I was seeing, we had a goal. And that's the other thing. Make sure you choose the right person to be your partner. So we had the
Facts.
same goal. Because
Facts.
I could have been with other people, but I didn't think they had the same goal. And
That's very important for you to even see that at that young age.
I was always a businessman. My mindset was just always that way.
Wow.
So I'm doing that for a couple of years. In fact, I used to play in the company traveling team. We used to travel,
Okay.
company travel team and everything else. And at some point, I became the coach. So I'm coaching the guys, and we're traveling everywhere, the whole bit. But one day, one of the OGs from Roosevelt said, Gary, we need you to get involved. What you mean? Look, we were there for you in all these sports. We getting older. We need you to get involved. Now, how could I say no? Those guys were always there for me. I couldn't say no.
Couldn't say no.
So, okay, so me and my guy, Rod Barnes, we started a basketball for the Roosevelt kids called it was called the Roosevelt PAL team.
Roosevelt
Okay,
PL.
Roosevelt PAL, and I think I had a couple hundred kids. But I remember my days playing bitty basketball. By the way, when I was playing bitty basketball, man, I thought I was Dr. J, man. It was the lower rims and everything else. I was doing it, man.
You was
But
doing
anyway,
that there.
oh yeah. Listen, I was that height since that time. I haven't grown an
That's
inch since. Okay, so it was crazy. But anyway, I decided to form a team
hmm
out the league, all-star team, and go back to one of the biddy tournaments in Jersey.
Okay.
And I seen things. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. And then I proceeded to go to another tournament called the Delaware Shootout.
Hey, what year is this right now?
Oh my God, this might be like 88, 89,
Okay.
something like
Okay.
that.
Keep it
When
going.
it's that, yeah. I'm
I
like
just want
one of the
everybody to be
originals. Yeah, I'm
okay.
one of the originals. You know what I mean? Because I did the World Up PL for 2 years.
Yep.
And then so I go out there
Okay.
and we get our butts kicked by this team. This guy, one guard had 40 on him.
40.
Finally, yeah, he told me he's young from Connecticut. So I go to the kid. Hey man, what's your name? He said, "Oh, coach, my name is Travis Best."
Oh yeah.
So Travis Best, for those who don't know, playing in the NBA for years, went to Georgia Tech. He was
Got
all
the
of
smoke.
that. Travis Best was all of that back then.
Oh
All
my.
right. And then I think I'm watching a game. Riverside is playing. Riverside Church.
Riverside Church.
They had guys like Adrian Autry, Robert Phelps. They were loaded.
Loaded.
I'm trying to remember the same year. They had a kid from Long Island, white kid, named Dave Massia. From
Lindbrook.
there you go. Okay. And I remember I went to him and said, "Yo, man, you from Long Island? Why don't you play with us?"
Mm-hmm.
And like he gave me that look like, "You serious? Please, all right,
Please.
all right." I said, "Okay." motivation for me. But what I learned was I said to myself, you know what? Here's an opportunity for kids in Long Island to get a scholarship. Now I know what it is. Now I had a plan in my head. So now I go back to Long Island and I'm contemplating, how am I going to make this work
Okay.
and get kids? Because I got to get to know them, right? Because
Yep.
remember now, this is before cell phone and any of that, okay? I mean, it's not, this
Yeah,
is before social
this is
media.
like door to door type stuff,
This is
right?
door-to-door type of thing, okay?
Yeah.
And there was a gentleman by the name of Robin Moore, and out of Sayville, actually.
Okay.
And he wanted to do a game called the Lupus All-Star Game.
Lupus Classic.
It was going to be Nassau County versus Suffolk County
Yep.
because his wife suffered lupus. So he wanted to be able to raise money. And through a friend of mine who happened to live out there, and this friend, you might as well say, was kind of like one of my grassroots coaches back in the day. He said, you need to call Gary.
Okay.
He called me. Next thing I know, I'm the Nassau County coach. And that's how I started to get to know.
That's how you was able to start getting a relationship.
I started to
with
get the
top players.
relationship. Exactly. So now the first year, I meet this guy in Westbury, and he said to me, hey, Gary, why don't we combine our team and let's go take a trip to Delaware Shootout. And he says, you could be coach one trip, I'll be coach the next trip, and on, right?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll be first, all right? And go on the trip, and I had Billy Owens.
Billy Owens.
Billy Owens from Long Beach,
Long Beach.
phenomenal player.
Yes.
They said Billy Owens will go down as one of the best ever New York Panthers, ever.
Salute
Billy
to Billy.
Owens was that dude,
Yep.
okay? And played both ways. Billy was special. Also had Jason Bell, 6'6" out of Long Beach. You know,
Long
also,
Beach.
okay? All right, exactly. Jason, man, he ended up going to Iona. Jason was funny because he was always complaining about his goddamn corn on his toe, man. I mean, it was always something like, my corn is bothering me. I mean, oh my God. But, you know, he might be the funniest dude we ever had as a Panther. So we combine the team and we do really well.
Okay.
So now, when we come back, the guy says, this isn't going to work. There's no way, because you can't have two alphas. I said, that's my thought. He said, so I'm going to go ahead with my guys. You go ahead with yours. I'm like, man, because he brought Billy and Jason Bell to the table.
You said, hold on a second. Hold on. I need those two guys.
Nah, so what I did was I went to talk to them first.
Right.
And they were like, nah, we rolling with you.
There you go. Let me talk to you and your parents, and let's go ahead and work this
Let's
thing
go. So before this guy knew it, man, all the kids like, nah, we rolling with him.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. And that was the start of the real Long Island Panthers with those guys, you know, guys like that who really set the bar at that time. And also I had Derek Brown, who ended up going to St. John.
Yes, from Cary.
From Cary. Elliot Fortune out of Roosevelt,
Oh
broke
my
the damn
goodness.
backboard.
Yeah, he's
Broke
breaking
the
backboards out there. He's a football guy.
He's a football guy, breaking backboard. And I had a kid named Dwayne Lindsay out of Malvern. Okay? His nickname, just to give you an idea, was Weed. That was his damn nickname, okay? Weed, okay? But we're loaded. So this is Long Island. Man, we're balling. We're doing our thing. All right? And at some point, I remember Derek Brown said to me, yo, Gee, there's this kid, man, in Floral Park. You got to get this kid. I said, really? He said, it's in the 8th grade. I said, what do I want with an 8th grader? He said, Gee, you got to get this kid.
You got to get him.
It was Zendon Hamilton.
8th
grade, 6'10".
He's out to 6'10". We got to get him.
Got to get him. So now me and this gentleman by the name of Rebel, we're fighting because he actually had played with Rebel in 7th grade. And when it was all said and done, Rebel went to the house, to the dad's house, Z's house, and said, "Why we want to play for Gary? Gary, be smoking weed with his players, be doing all kind of stuff. That's not what you want." Oh, he screwed up right there. Because anybody who knew me knew I had never smoked in my life.
That's not even a good way to get them because you don't
That's
smoke.
not even a good way. So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dad
yeah. You gotta
said,
sell something else. That's not even believable.
why would you even come at me like that? Like I'm
Oh,
stupid.
oh,
Like
so that makes it
everybody know
worse.
that. Yeah, Gary Charles is wearing a suit every day. He's a businessman, and guess what? That's what I want my son to be like. All
Okay.
right, so he's playing with Gary. Now it was interesting because all that time while we were playing, Z would come off the bench. He's in the eighth grade.
He's still in the eighth grade.
He's in the eighth grade. So Big E was starting. But now at that point, when Rebel really tried to make that push came to shove, and now we got him. Well, funny thing is, I remember we were going to a tournament called Citywide out in Queens. It was called
Queens.
Citywide Tournament.
Yep.
Yeah. That's where all the top teams will play at before people started to travel like that, Citywide. And on my way there, me and my same guy, Rob Power, who introduced me to Bob Moore, he said, what are we going to do? Who are we going to start? I said, listen, man, after all of that, Z got to start, man. Big E got to come off the bench, okay? And we're laughing. So now I had to go tell Big E, poor Big E. I said, E, it's time, baby. Z got to start. I think Z had 30 points that game.
Coming out party.
Coming out party.
Okay.
And so now we're going. Okay. So now I'm figuring out, okay, how do I continue to make this happen? Because you know what people got to know is that, yeah, it's good to have a team, but how do you sustain it?
Yes. You're thinking that now.
I'm thinking that right now.
Yes.
Okay, what about the future?
Yes.
Next thing I know, I hear about a kid named Paul Culberson in my town. And my boy, Milton Cullum, who had lived across the street from my mom, I had known him. He introduced me to Paul and Paul over to the practice. Okay? And then at some point, I went to Hempstead to talk to Don Ryan. And what you have to understand at that time is none of these high school coaches wanted me to do anything. It was like, who are you? We're not having this. So they kept trying to put obstacles in front of me.
Why do you think this was, Guy? If you know what I'm saying, is it just because you're the new guy on the block and this is like a cutting edge thing?
Couple things. You don't know what you don't know. Mm-hmm. They didn't know any better at that time. So I'm talking about Ted Adams in Hempstead, the coaches in Roosevelt. That there was Tommy Hammond. The Malvern coach, Hank Williams, who was that OG. His brother Wanda Williams in Long Beach. Oh, they were totally against what I was trying to do. But what was bothering me was realizing based on what I seen, because remember now, you don't know what you don't know. So unless you venture out, you just don't know. And now that I've seen,
you've seen it.
What's out there, I'm like, no, we got to give our kids an opportunity. So I try to go to them, man to man, and talk to them. Not trying to hit me. So what did I do? I went knocking on these kids' parents' door.
Start
talking to the parents. I went and talked to the parents now. I said, I tried.
I did.
So you don't want to have it? Well, now, Don, though, was willing to listen, Don Ryan. Remember now, Don was coaching when I played. So I had all kind of respect for Don.
Super veteran.
I said, Don, listen, why is it that these kids on Hempstead aren't in Division I or getting played? I'm like, Hempstead's been that team since the 70s. Like, what are we doing? It doesn't make any sense. Okay. We got to help these kids. And so it wasn't Ted, it was Don that said, okay, Gab, let's try. So Don asked me to put a young man on from Hempstead. His name was Sean White. Call him S1.
S1. Okay. Salute, S1.
I said, okay. Now, let me say this to you about S1. He's getting his. S1, I saw somebody said, well, what kind of player was S1?
Yeah, I asked about that.
S1, if I had to say a guy, maybe some of y'all know, may not know, Gary Irvin. Gary Irvin was a guard out of Brooklyn years ago who actually ended up going to Mississippi State and also Arkansas. Okay. Yeah. Gary Irvin, one of those guys, he's getting 25. That was S1. I don't care what you said, how you did, who you looked up, boom. S1 was getting 25.
25.
He was that dude. He didn't talk a lot, man. he wasn't that guy. So I never really got him until I think I was listening to his podcast, and I was like, wow, damn, I felt so bad because at some point I knew he needed to get out the hood. He needed
Yeah.
to get out. So we had went to a tournament in California. It was called the Izzy Washington tournament, and Z could not go. Z got sick,
Okay.
and the guy really wanted us out there because of Z. But we
Yeah.
went out
See,
there.
you may play.
Yeah, couldn't do it. But guess what we had though? We had Paul Coberson. We had Dwayne Woodward, 40,
40.
who ended up going to Boston College, is now assistant coach of Rhode Island.
Yeah.
We had Jamal Smiley, okay, who
Big
ended up
time.
going to Illinois State and is an NBA agent, right
NBA,
now. Okay. We had Mike James, okay. We had I think Mike was on there at the time, and we had there's somebody else. My point is we had the ultimate guards. Okay.
Yeah.
Did I say Skip to my Lou?
You didn't say Skip yet.
And we had Skip. I didn't even say Skip. And we had Skip to my Lou.
That's a loaded backcourt, dude.
Come on, man. Come on. It's trying to figure out who do I put in.
Now, who do I put in? You can't lose whoever you put in.
So we in the Elite Eight against Antoine Walker's team.
Okay.
Antoine Walker is like ranked like top 5.
Absolutely.
And he's balling.
Yeah,
But
he's
you know
cooking.
what? But so are we. And at some point I realized like we up 8. Take it out! Take it out! Any guard I put in, nobody was getting it. And Antoine was like, stop it, coach. Come on, coach. This ain't right. I said, hey, man, I'm trying to win a game.
I'm trying to get
this. Trying to get your 30. I'm trying to get this.
I'm trying to get this one, right? Yeah. We trying to build something here. This win will be big for what we trying to build.
Come on now. I see Norris as Stymie. Stymie was woof, but I'll get to that. Thank you, Norris. All right? We're loaded. Okay? To this day, every time I would see Antoine Walker, I would remind him of that game. All right? I would remind him. Yeah, I'm that dude. Okay? Now I would remind him. So, but think about that. Long Island kids.
Long Island kids. And it's happened kind of fast. I mean, you're getting Nassau guys. You got Mike James from the Suffolk County. But I think one of the things that you did was, first of all, like, I'm just going to be direct and go talk to whoever I need to go talk to, right? The coach and then their parent, and just let them know, man, these kids, they need the opportunity to get the exposure. This will be the way.
Now, let me tell you what one of our big men was. It was Gary Williams, Menzie.
Gee.
Okay, Gary Williams was one of our big men.
Absolutely. And this team is
loaded.
This is a loaded
No. That's what I'm telling you. We're loaded. It's not like, we were pushed. We're loaded.
Nah,
but you know what? But you didn't know it because this never happened before like this. Now we get Long Island team together, and so people looking at you like, what you're doing?
What's your thought process with this, man? Did you anticipate it coming together this quickly and this good? Or you like, I know this is going to be a process, and you already had the mind frame of looking down the road? Did it catch you by surprise, or you was like, nah, this is exactly what I seen going to happen?
So as you can see, my whole life, I've always been a forward thinker. I play chess, so I'm always 2 steps ahead.
Yeah.
And like I said, since 6th grade, man, I've had swag. All right, I've been that guy. Out of high school, I was voted best dressed.
Yep.
One of the most popular. Out of college, I was the most popular, best dressed, and most likely to succeed.
Yep.
Tristan, this is just the way I think. This wasn't like, whatever. This was just me.
This is you.
Like, this is
So you already felt this is what we're doing, and I just need the right pieces to get this thing going. This is exactly what you was thinking.
That's what I'm thinking, because in my mind, like, remember what I said? You don't know what you don't know.
Facts.
But I knew that if I was able to get the right players together,
Yep.
it could happen, because I grew up in Roseville. I watched guys play. I remember the Reggie Carters from Lou High, the Wayne McCoy. Like Wayne McCoy, I understand how he didn't become a pro. Wayne McCoy was that one of those, okay? So there has always been talent in Long Island. Listen, I remember Ice, Tim Wooden, okay?
Yes.
That bum, he didn't play with us, okay? I kept trying to get that bum, and he wouldn't play. But I remember guys like that. The Kyle Ivy Jones. Dude, there was talent here.
Everywhere.
So everywhere. I just felt that, okay, if I come with the right approach. And honestly, I think what also helped me was that I'm knocking the door, and parents are looking at a guy that looked like them,
That was very
you know,
helpful.
and dressed well,
Yeah.
businessman. Oh yeah,
Articulation.
I need. There you go. I need my kid with him because one of the things I would tell these parents was like, I can't guarantee you a scholarship. I can't guarantee that. What I can guarantee you is he'll become a better man
There you
when
go.
it's all said and done.
There you go.
Okay, that's what this is all about to me. To me, it was like, let's give them a chance. Let's give the ones who really want the opportunity. Let's give it a chance. So no, so to me, when I walked around these teams, I'm like, yeah, it's us.
It's
And
us.
okay, so I think they needed somebody to believe in them and give them the opportunity. So when I walked in the gym, and people were seeing me like, this dude come walking in here with a suit on. So my players are like, yeah, what you got?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I knew that. So we
Yes.
all developed that attitude.
Yes.
Okay, so we developed, all of that. Okay, so so anyway, so there was something that I wanted to clarify for a couple of guys because we went to California. One of my friends of mine was a name by the name of Greg Matrone, called Shoes. Shoes was now coaching, I think, at the time, Cal Irvine. But when the first time I met him, he was coaching at Fairleigh Dickinson. He was the first coach I ever met. All right, and he was recruiting Billy Owens at the time.
Okay.
So we ended up developing a relationship. He goes to Cal Irvine, and he wanted those guys. So he said to me, I could get him a school here. And what was important was that California, I don't even know if S1 of them remember this, you did not have to pass an exit exam in order to go to D1. So that's the other reason to ship these bums out there.
Get on out there. That's
I said, yo,
that's
Paul,
one less hurdle. One less
one
hurdle.
less hurdle. I'm like, yo, Paul, you're going here. Because I think I heard Paul say, yeah, he met you. Yeah, Paul, you met you through me. That's how you met him. Okay?
Yes.
Said, we getting this done. So boom, 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 boom. And then at some point, I think Don asked me about Sean. I'm like, he go with them. So now it's almost like my pipeline was
Yes.
this guy, Juco out there.
Yep.
And now Gary Williams first went to Richmond.
Yep.
Okay?
I didn't know that.
He went to Richmond.
Okay.
But he said, he called me up, Coach, I can't stay here. What you mean you can't stay here? Coach, everybody out here is driving a Porsche. They're driving BMWs. They're driving Jag. This is the kids, he's telling me. Coach, I ain't got nothing. I don't belong here. So what do? We ship his behind to California to that JUCO too.
Get on over there to the west. You're going out
Get
west.
your butt over there. All right? and of course, he ends up going to USC.
Yes.
Paul ends up going to Nevada. All right? S1 should have been a D1 too, high D1. But I do believe a lot of coaches were holding the fact that he had been locked up
Yep.
over his head.
Yep.
This was a New York kid. And he also explained it to everybody who understands. California is a laid-back state.
Yes, it is.
You go to LA, laid back.
Very.
And here come S1 with all the swag in the goddamn world. Okay? Paul, they're whipping people's behind and letting them know, yeah, what? It's us, New York. This is who we are.
Yes.
And I think some people held that on S. The other thing was, I guess for me, I didn't necessarily at that time want to overstep Don. Because to me, it was kind of like, that's how I got the kid.
You was trying to find that balance.
I'm trying to find that balance.
Yeah,
all right?
You have respect for him. He's an OG and thing.
OG,
I don't want to just try to look like I'm taking over.
And our relationship at the time with S1 and I probably wasn't as close as it was with Paul Culbertson and I, who's from Roosevelt, Gary Williams, who had played for me for years, okay, from when he was young. And so they had no problem calling me. S was more quiet, like more into himself, not with on that court. He was a beast.
Yep.
But off the court, and when I heard the podcast from him a couple of weeks ago, I understood why. Because everything he had been going through.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yep.
Now I would tell you I had my issues with Ted because I didn't think he was looking out for these kids. I'm being real about it.
You're being real about it. In
okay?
what way do you feel like he wasn't looking out for them? Because I think this is important. You mentioned the pipeline of talent.
I felt that as good as these kids were, someone should have stayed on top of those kids to make sure to give them the right direction. Now, I have been fortunate with the Panthers. We've had over 20 pros, Tristan, out the New York Panthers program.
Facts.
And when people ask me, well, how did you end up getting more pros than most? And I always tell them that those kids follow the yellow brick road. They listen. So if I said to them, go this way, they went that way. They didn't deviate off the road.
Yeah.
And I don't think Ted and them put enough time after the game to make sure these kids stay within that road.
Yep.
Like, I was that guy that I'll coach you out in a second.
Yeah.
You know, Mike James can remember some stories. Mike told me some stories. I had to hold my head. I didn't realize I said some of these things.
Yeah.
But you know what? But they all knew it was out of love.
Yeah.
They all knew I had them. I had their back. I was just
Yeah.
trying to make them a better man, a better person, and give them opportunities. Okay? Sean and our relationship wasn't as strong at that time because I think if I would have known some of these things, I would have grabbed him by his neck. And
Yeah.
said, you
would have
get
moved
over here.
differently. You would have moved
I would have
differently.
moved differently.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
I just
You
would
would have
have
had more
done that.
wisdom in the situation. You would have moved differently. Yep.
And then, you know, and remember what I said. And then also, I'm also moving with my team. So these guys are on the West Coast. So if you try to call somebody and they ain't home, you ain't getting them.
Yeah.
So they're doing them out there. I'm doing us out this way.
Yep.
Also, I'm working on Wall Street. I got a full-time job, y'all. I got a real job. All right. And
Okay.
I'm coaching a team. So it's not like I'm just sitting around.
You're not sitting around.
I'm not. So all of that played into it. And because I remember at one point I said, what's up with S1? How is he not at school? Because honestly, Gary and them did their own thing, so to speak. You know, Gary might call me, coach, I want to go to USC. I was like, you got it, man. Go do you.
Yep. Handle
Okay? All right, handle it. So that's kind of like the way I was looking, at that. So, wow. I should have been there more for S1 because he was just as good as any kid I've ever coached. Because if I, knowing what I know now, S1 could play in the Big East.
And that's the thing.
With S1.
That's the part of the journey that's always a question mark. It's ... because you're learning on the fly too, and that's where even the experience gives you a certain amount of maturity, and that experience will bring forth wisdom. Like you said, if I did it again, knowing what I know now, right?
Yeah.
That's life.
I remember
I think
I
it's
took a
big that you
kid.
that up.
I remember I took a kid on a trip out to Jersey, a tournament. In that tournament, a team saw the kid and offered him a scholarship right there on the spot. If I played.
Yeah. So tell me, Gee, like now you're in there. Let's slide into like this mid to late 90s. Yeah,
Okay.
you already stepped on the scene with swag. We got the guys. I'm the guy. We here, and y'all gonna know about it. I'm not going anywhere. Type stuff. Did you recognize Did you recognize the importance of the relationships that not only did you have with Shoes? I got to continue to build these relationships with all of
Absolutely.
you. You recognize that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think. By the way, that kid I was telling you about that got the scholarship was your boy, P.D. Jones, out of Amityville.
P.D.
Okay?
Jones. P.D. Jones.
P.D. Jones. Yep. He got a scholarship to Coastal Carolina. Him and Jay Jordan. Jay Jordan ended up going to South Carolina. Had those guys. But anyway, yeah, I recognize that. The other thing I recognize was that you don't get to the journey by yourself.
Yes.
Okay? You have to get the right people, surround yourself with the right people to make it happen. And one of the biggest thing that happened to me was Ron LeClario, who we call him Nutsy, who is still coaching at Cardozo. And Ron was the one that brought, Skip to my little Ray Austin to the table. He said, Gary, I got this young kid. He needs guidance. He needs someone like you to watch him. You're probably going to have to curse him out a couple of times. He said, well, Gary, I'm telling you, this kid is talented. And because you have a kid who's a top 5 in the country, I want him with you. He was talking about Zenden. And that's how But by Ron bringing Skip over, it opened up the pipeline for me into the city.
Okay. And
that was the start of it.
How did you leverage that?
So what I ended up doing was now I was saying, oh, we're not just Long Island. We're bigger than that now. We're getting other kids. Okay, so and that's how we ended up getting the Dwayne Woodward. Because Dwayne Woodward from Cardozo, 40. Okay?
Yep.
So those doors started to open, and eventually it led to open up the door for the Lamar Odoms.
Let me ask you something, Guy. Did you have any pushback from anybody, or did you feel like, whether it was said or not, did you feel like, hey man, this is supposed to just be a Long Island thing? Why are you getting guys from the city?
I
Or
think I think that yeah, I did for some of the guys,
what was
when
your
I was
answer
about
to
to
them
change.
to that? Did you even respond to it, or you just said, man, this is something bigger than just Long Island? I'm looking at, like you said, I'm playing chess here, right? Did you even answer them? And if you did, what did you say to guys that were saying stuff like that?
Norris was one of those guys. Norris Bell was one of the guys who probably asked me, and I said, "Norris, shut the f up." Okay, it was one of those. Okay, because Norris was that dude. Okay,
Yes.
Norris Bell was probably one of those guys that should have been a damn pro. Okay, and but
Rooftop.
when we talk about that, Norris was that guy. Norris didn't care who you were. Okay, Norris was unbelievable. So Norris and I would go back and forth and stuff, but I knew where his heart was. So I had a bigger picture, and I wasn't sure if they would understand it.
Yes.
Okay, but I also knew by getting some of the kids in the city, now we could open up or walk in any doors. Okay,
More
because
exposure.
now
More
more
exposure.
exposure. Okay, so to me that's why I was doing it for. And then here's the other thing, right? We're getting better and better. So I want more. We all want more. Okay, so now hey, Long Island was never going to change. My home was Long Island, but it was always important to me if we added one or two, three pieces, now we can get over the hump.
Yeah.
So that was really
It was
important to me.
strategic. Once you seen that you landed someone like Skip, like now I have a pathway into having a conversation
There
with
you go.
everybody in the city and Long Island. So now I can leverage that to really create exactly what I need to not only get stability, but for us to level up and really just kick the door in. That feel
And,
sense?
and that's what happened. And you know what? I think it's interesting, right? I think about some things that we did, like I State, for example, okay? And now the Norris Bells come in. Norris Bell, Wally Zerbiak, Big Ed Brown. We win 3 straight ISA championships.
That's a big
Okay,
deal.
all right. And I remember one time, one famous quote. We talked about it before, me and some guys. I think we had, I don't know, like somebody was late with a car with players, so we had 4. And Norris Bell looked at our boy Pete Edwards who running, and Norris was like, "Hey, it's all good. We'll play with 4." See, that was the attitude.
That's the attitude, yo. Just
That was
jump
the
on.
attitude.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. So we ended up winning 3. Boom, 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 boom. Now, mind you, Stephon Marbury's in the league. Tim Thomas is in the league, who was the number 1 player, in the country in high school at the time. Shangard Wells is in the league. I mean, the league is loaded
It's
because
low.
the other thing I think for people to understand, there wasn't a traveling team in every corner at the time.
Right.
All the teams in New York were loaded. The Gauchos,
Yep.
Riverside,
Yep.
the Broncos, Brooklyn, USA. Like, we were the team. And
Right.
the other thing is, honestly, when we traveled, we rooted for each other.
Yep.
That's the way it was back then. All right? And it's funny because people always talk about, I'll give you an example. People always talk about Lamar Odom was a Riverside kid. No, he wasn't. Lamar was on a 10-day contract. Stop it. Because back then, if I wasn't doing anything and the kid had a chance to go somewhere, let him go. So Lamar came to me and said, "Hey, Riverside's going down to North Carolina, Bob Gibbons. Can I go?" "Yeah, go ahead." He
That's how
played.
you. That's how you always operated. Like, go ahead. If we
Go
ain't
ahead.
doing nothing, go.
It's all good. And it's so funny that they tell the story that Lamar played with Elton Brand and Ron Artest with that 96 team.
Yep.
Stop it. And by the way, they went 56-1, Riverside. They really were that good.
Cooking out there.
Okay, they were cooking. But let me explain something to you on that 96 team. We had 13 Division I players on that 96 team in Vegas, okay, and in LA. Elton Brand on that one loss they lost to Baron Davis. That's who they lost to. The team we beat with Kenny Bruner, Eric Chenoweth, and who was on that team? They were loaded. They hadn't lost in 2 years.
In 2 years.
When I had Khalid Al-Amin as the point guard, Lamar, we were loaded. 13 Division I. Okay? It's unreal. And we were missing Nolan Johnson, who ended up going to Oklahoma because he had to stay home for summer school. We were loaded. They started calling us the Dream Team.
Dream team.
That was the team Lamar was on in '96 when people talk about Lamar played with them. No, he didn't.
He didn't.
Now, in the I-6 matchup, they had Herb Barkley as their point.
Okay.
They had Elton Brand as their big man, and they had Ron Artest.
Wrong.
Well, guess who our guys were?
Who you had?
Speedy was our point.
Speedy Claxton.
Malik Allen was our big man because now Malik Allen played 12 years in the league, and he's still a coach with Miami right now, assistant coach. Okay, and we had Lamar Odom. So the match was Lamar Odom versus Ron Artest.
That is the matchup.
That's the matchup. Malik versus Elton Brand, Speedy versus Eric Barkley. So will your people please stop with Lamar Odom being a Riverside kid? Okay, if you want to consider a 10-day contract, that was okay. Yeah, right. All right, stop.
We got to clarify that.
Clarify that. I'm still here. Wait till I die, y'all. I'm still here. Okay, cut it out.
Cut it out.
Anyway. So I'll tell you what I remember when I knew we were there is that we were playing a tournament called the Golden Hoops. And for those who don't know, the Golden Hoops was like the big tournament in your metropolitan area, and that all the top teams were able to play in it. You had to get invited. It was always during Harlem Week. Okay. And we got invited to the tournament.
You got to get invited.
We got invited. And now, I think it's the second round, we had to play Riverside.
Okay.
Greg Nunn was my point guard at that time.
Shout out to Greg Nunn.
Yep. And then we had Speedy came in. But Speedy was just getting going with us. And I had to be careful what I did because I didn't want to upset anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. We ended up beating Riverside. And we had a kid named Larry Jennings, okay, out the city, also Buddha. And so I was trying to massage everyone. And we beat Riverside. The place went crazy because the place was packed. It's Riverside. We're not supposed to be in Riverside. And I never forget that Dylan Hughes asked me, how do you feel? I said, what you mean? We were supposed to beat them. And people are like, this guy's like, whatever. I'm like, man, I got Lamar Odom and Speedy Clarkson with me. What are you talking about?
I got pros with me. What are you talking about?
Come on now. So anyway, so the next day now, we had to play in the championship, and we played against Shaheen Holloway. Speedy didn't make it. Speedy wasn't happy about his playing time the game before. Not knowing I was starting him that game.
Yeah, because you said you was trying to massage it in. And then you
strategic. Like, I was being strategic.
Yeah, I got you in the next game. Just let me.
I got you.
Watch me work.
I got you. So I told Greg, don't guard Shaheen too tight. Give him the three. Because Shaheen couldn't really shoot, well at the time.
He was breaking the defense down.
Man, that boy hit 9 threes on us in that damn game.
Oh, get the heck out of here.
And he knew what I was doing. Him and I still talk about it now. So, Shaheen is the Sidney Hall coach right now.
Yeah, man. Shaheen he can go.
We talk about it all the time.
Yep.
All the time we talk about that game, okay? Because he said to me, well, there was another game. Maybe I'll get to that story later because I got a great story about Speedy and Lamar. So I'll get to it. But anyway, the point though is we lost in that one, but I knew having Zenon, Tristan, and the other guys, Norris, those guys took us to the top. Lamar Odom and Speedy Claxton took us over the top.
Took us over. And what do you mean by that part?
Meaning that now we was winning championships with them.
We was competing. Now we're winning them.
Now we're winning them
across the country. Now everybody's looking at you as like they're the team. The target's now on you guys now. Well,
around 1990, I had received a phone call from Sonny Vaccaro. I don't know where. And it was through Howie Garfinkel. And for those who don't know, Howie Garfinkel is the home 5-star camp.
Yes.
Howie called me up and said, hey, Gary, do you know who Sonny Vaccaro is? I said, yeah, that's the guy that signed Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Well, he wants to talk to you. I said, okay. I'm thinking, Sonny Vaccaro, what do you want to talk to me about? He was that guy.
Yeah.
And I remember I hang up from Howard, and I was about to go take a shower. Not even 3 minutes, my phone like, bling! Gary Charles? Yeah? This is Sonny Vaccaro. Yeah? I heard you got a top 5 player in the country. I need to talk to you. I need you to come to the Final Four. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like,
okay.
You ever been in the Final Four? No. Come to the Final Four. I said, okay. So that spring, I go to the Final Four. And when you get to the Final Four, every college coach or most of them stay in the same hotel.
Okay.
And they're all downstairs. It's like a meat market. Seriously. Every college coach.
Everybody's in there.
Everybody's in there in the hallway, out. They're just talking,
Mingling.
mingling. And I remember I'm walking through because I didn't know what Sonny was, right? Because I had to make a call to find out. And I saw the biggest head I've ever seen in my life. Okay, through the whole crowd.
Through the crowd.
It was John Thompson. Okay, in flesh. I said, oh. So I go to the hotel phone to call for Sonny. Gary, come to my room. He wasn't even downstairs. He's up in his room. I go upstairs. He lays out his plan
Okay.
of what he wanted to do, and that he wanted to continue his camp. But he felt that he needed Zenden, as a top 5 to do it. And he said, but I'm going to need help in building other teams. Will you help me? And I tell Sonny this famous story. Sonny's wife was beautiful. Actually, she do commercials. She was beautiful. And I looked at him, I looked at her, I looked at him, I looked at her, I looked at him, I looked at her, and I said, you know what? Any man who can get a young lady this fine must know what he's doing. I'm in. And I stuck my hand out. I gave him the handshake. And at that point, he said, go across to the center, to the Coliseum, and go buy your uniforms. Tristan, before that, man, we was wearing this, we were wearing that. We were putting numbers in magic markers.
Put the
you know what I mean?
Marker, the tape, masking tape.
Man, listen. Now all of a sudden, you know what? We got brand new uniforms. I'll never forget Leonard Hamilton. Coach Leonard Hamilton at the time was with Miami.
Yeah.
And he saw us, he said, damn, your uniforms look better than us. Okay, I'll never forget him saying that. And Jamal Smiley was one of our guards like, Coach, we here now, baby.
We done
Nothing gonna
came
stop
up.
us now. Hey, we came up. There you go. And so without Sonny, I don't think we're able to sustain.
Yes.
Okay, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And now I'm helping him to get other teams.
And what did that exactly mean? Like, what would be your role is exactly getting other teams? Like,
so what was happening at the time was that Sonny was going into a war with Nike. Like, who were going to get the best players into their camp? Okay, whether it was the Nike camp or the Adidas camp or going. There was 3 things Sonny wanted you to do if you was with Sonny. Come to Vegas, play in his event. Come to camp if your players was good enough.
yeah.
Your players had to come and play in the Magic Johnson Mound Ball All-American
Mound Ball Classic.
Mound Ball Classic. There you go. And what people don't know, a lot of times it was better than McDonald's game at the time. But those were the top 2 games.
Yes.
That you were going in. So my job was to, okay, Sonny, I played against this team down in Virginia.
Okay.
Get my man. Let's put him down, right? Because if you did that, so Sonny, if you give them the tools, they would get the kids.
Gotcha.
I was big on that. That some people just needed the opportunity.
Gotcha.
I was that guy to tell them who those guys were across the country.
So you was the plug. You was the plug.
I was the plug.
You was the plug. Got you. All right. Say no more. So now, how are you feeling now, dude? Because not this is the chess game. You're squarely in it, man. Like what's the feeling like? Yo, this is really happening because it's a cool feeling, right? You're a cool guy. You know what I'm saying? Let the water run off your duck feathers. But you gotta. I know there was a moment you're like, yo, this is really coming through. You know what I'm saying? All right. And you can. Did you ever just settle in it for a second before you kept moving? Like right at that time, like I'm sitting here with Sonny Vaccaro. Now we partnered up. There's still work that needs to be done, but my goodness, I came a long way from Roosevelt, PA.
I think for me, as I mentioned, growing up in Roosevelt, growing up, with the guys I grew up with,
Yes.
and knowing how my family, who we were, my confidence was always, up here.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, meeting Sonny Vaccaro, you could have been Barack Obama to me. I'm talking to you like, I'm that dude too. That was just always the way I was. I mean, when I got a job at Wall Street, there weren't too many of us, as you can imagine.
I'm imagining.
Okay, but you couldn't tell me I was not the guy.
Mm-hmm.
See, I never in my life ever felt inferior to anyone.
Facts.
So meeting Sonny to me was, yeah, you're lucky you met someone like me. And you know what? And honestly, Sonny treated me that way.
Well, he knew that you was a gem. Put it like this, Guy. You knew from a young age the value that you brought to the table. and then you had other people recognize the value that you brought to the table. So
And that's
you
what he said.
conducted yourself. You conducted yourself accordingly.
You know what? I never forget something that happened, and I didn't know it until later. So one year at Sunny Suite, Final Four, we meet Dick Vitale. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, Dickie was the guy. You know, he's the guy.
Personality, yeah. He like
Personality, ESPN, Dickie V.
Biggie V.
And Dickie said, so him and I used to get into these arguments because I could tell this guy's trying to disrespect me, not knowing
Oh,
who I am.
okay.
I'm giving it right back to him.
Nah, man.
Every single
I
second.
belong right here at this table too.
So he goes to Sonny and said, well, who the hell is this guy talking to me like, you know, blah, blah, blah. And Sonny said, Dick, that guy, I know you think he's like all the rest of these dudes who don't have jobs or whatever. He's the vice president on Wall Street. All of a sudden, Dick was like, oh. Next thing I know, he was giving me his basketball that he signed. He was sending me books. His books, like we became the best of friends, Dickie B and I.
Yup.
You know, we could coach each other out, laugh, and carry on, go to dinner. He became my boy. It was amazing
Wow.
how quickly that changed.
That shift.
Okay, and as a matter of fact, there's a famous story that when Lamar had to make his choice for school,
Mm-hmm.
it was at the round ball, and but we have to go on ESPN to do it, and Dickie V is gonna be the guy
Okay.
to do it. And Dickie sees me and he said, Gary, take off your damn hat. You look like a goddamn gangster. And I'm like, I'm not taking off my goddamn hat. He said, well, Gary, you got to take it. I'm not taking off my damn hat.
I'm not
I ain't
taking
who
off
I
the
am.
hat.
I'm not taking off my hat. Okay? He said, Gary, I'm like, I'm not taking it off. I mean, it's a true story. And I didn't take it off.
I'm not taking it off.
I didn't take it off.
Nah.
So
They gonna get me, and that's the only way that's gonna be.
that's the way it's going to be. Okay? So I've just been me.
That's it. You just being you. But like you said, everybody's seeing your value, and you're picking up other people that bring value. Now, slide us into this 2000s, man. How were you picking some of the guys to bring along with you? Because you said that you need help. How was you picking up coaches? You know what I'm saying? Was you handpicking them, or they coming to you?
No, I was handpicking them. You know what I mean? Because like I told some guys, hey, you're not ready for us, baby. We can't do this, okay? And you know, Mike Krzyzewski in Sports Illustrated was asked one time, "How do you get along with Gary Charles?" And he said, "You know, I don't always like what Gary Charles got to say to me, but you always know you're gonna get a straight answer from Gary, so you can always get to him to get the truth." So that's just what I was.
Yeah.
I was just being real.
I'm gonna be honest.
Because Tristan, as you know, in this world, you do something wrong, you may not get that other chance. So
Bad.
I felt that it was important that I picked the right people to keep opening the door for other guys that could be coming.
I love it.
So I took that real seriously, as I was, doing that. And it's amazing that you brought up, 2000, because I remember I was asked, Sonny said, okay, Gary, all right, how are we going to do this in New York or what have you? And I said, look, Sonny, I can't do all New York. He said, what you mean? I remember now, Sonny's a West Coast guy, although he grew up in Pittsburgh, but he was in West Coast.
Okay.
And I'm always amazed about how people think all of New York is just Manhattan. It's always amazing back then. People just think that we all live in Manhattan.
That's the automatic thought.
Just the automatic thought. And I said, Sonny, New York is a big state. Like I never forget that in 1993, we go to a camp, that ABCD camp in Savannah, Michigan, right? And there was a guy that was upstate, and he was bringing John Wallace and those guys, and he took the flight from JFK Airport. So I get there, Ypsilanti. I said, Sonny, why did you have that guy come all the way from Syracuse all the way down to New York to catch a flight? He said, what you talking about? Aren't you near? I said, no, 5 hours away.
He's like 6 hours away, dude.
He said, oh my gosh. You know what I
He
mean?
didn't know. He didn't even know.
So back to the 2000s, so I said, Sonny, we need someone else. I need help. I can't do all New York because now things are starting to expand a little bit. Other programs starting to start. And I said to him, who could probably do a good job? Like, I don't even know who I'm about to say is even aware about this, okay? Because we got into a war, him and I. But I said, why don't you go after Tiny Morton at the time? Because I said to Sonny, Sebastian Telfair is going to be that guy. Now, mind you, Sebastian has played, as you know, talk about your team, played with us when he was in 8th grade.
Yes.
Matter of fact, he thought he should have started over you, you know.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, man, you're not starting over Tristan. You think you're ready, but it ain't happening. Oh, my God, I caught hell. Can you imagine the hell I caught from scouts and everybody else?
Well, I
And-
know
and-
because I mean, he ended up going to ABCD, and he
Let me
was
tell you that
he was the
story.
media darling,
There
and
you
he
go.
had connections to Marbury. So
Marbury,
we're
that's
here to
because
see
of it.
him.
Okay. So now let me tell you that story. Okay, with ABCD. So now we're trying to figure out which guys are going and what have you. But Sonny won't let me put you in. Sonny, I need to get my point guard in there. Gary, you already have like 4 or 5 guys. Can't, come on. I said, all right, Sonny, can't do it. Unbeknownst to me was that Sterling Nunnally, one of my coaches, who, by the way, I couldn't have done all of this without him. So shout out to some of my coaches, Sterling, Nate Cadigan,
Yes,
and
Nate.
Nate, you know what I mean? Nate Blue, the Eddie Lyles, all these dudes all helped the program become what it became. And Sterling wrote 2 letters to Pam, Sonny Vacal's wife. I need to get John Quintana. Sterling is loyal as can be. Like, Lincoln was his guy. Okay, you know that. Yeah, coming from Lincoln. And Sonny called me and said, can you tell your guy to stop sending me letters back? He's killing me over here. He kept writing. Finally, Pam said, Sonny, let him in. I didn't even know John Quintana was going to be in the camp. Sterling did that behind my back. Now, I'm like, Sterling, Tristan's not in the camp. And he starts for us. And you're going to go ahead and get John Quintana, who was like our 10th man of the team. But that's his guy. You know what I mean? No disrespect, because John was my man. But he was like, he was on the second team.
Yes.
Okay. Which was loaded, but he was on the second team, right? Then he turns around, he goes, picks up Sebastian and brings him to the camp.
Yeah.
Mind you, I had already told the guys, Bassie is in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Where is he going? He's gonna be all right. Chill, because if you bring him to the camp, it's gonna be over. What does Sterling do? He brings him to the camp anyway.
He brings him to the camp anyway.
He's the cousin of Stephon Marbury.
That's it,
he is
right
the
there.
darling of the world.
Yes, it was.
And what ends up happening? A kid gets hurt. And now it's like it was a scout, 2 scouts. Kind of said, we gotta let Bassie in. Because I kept saying no. Because I knew what it was gonna be. I was like, no.
Just wait a little bit, man. This is gonna be crazy. Yeah.
Where you going, man? You're in 8th grade. It sounds like you're going to college next year. Just chill.
Cool out.
You got
Just
time.
cool out.
Just chill.
Yep.
Man, and boom. So Bassie gets in the camp. And that's how Bassie gets in the camp. Sterling, Nunnally.
Sterling.
Okay.
What's behind the scenes? That makes a whole lot of sense.
Yep. So that's what happened with that. And I was saying yesterday to you, let's think about that team, that 2000 team. That you were the point. E-Star, who did go to ABCD camp, was the 2. Eric Ferguson, you're from Hempstead. He was that guy. Okay, he was just a tough nut. At the 3 was Eric King from Lincoln, and Eric ended up going to St. John at first. The 4-man was what did I say the 4-man was? Oh, Kenny Adeleke. Kenny, the craziest kid I ever coached. We ended up going to the hospital, was also at the camp. And the 5-man was Mark Konechny, who was from Connecticut, ended up going to UConn, okay? Also at the camp. Now, who was the second team? Well, the second team was Sebastian Telfair at the point.
Yep.
John Quintana at the 2, who still ended up going out to St. Francis. Curtis Sumter, who ended up going to Villanova at the end, but all young now, sophomore. The 4-man was Charlie Villanueva, because we ended up playing 12 years in the league. The 5-man is Jason Frazier, who I didn't even want. Okay?
Yes.
That's the second team.
Jay was a throw-in.
He was a throw-in. I was trying to get you. I needed you. And Jack, that was my dude. Jack used to work at ABCD camp. I'd have him. Jack's like, Jack, come on, I'm telling you, man, this kid. I'm like, Jack, come on, man, he's twisted. Yeah, he said, take my big. I said, all right. So he was a throw-in. And I'll never forget when I realized this kid could play.
Yes.
We went to Bob Gibbons' tournament, So I think Kenny got hurt, so I had to throw him in there. He held Eddie Curry, yes, the Eddie Curry, NBA, about 280 pounds to 5 points in that game. That's when I knew I had the Ken in with Tumbo in my hand. That's when I realized, like,
We got something special. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Now, Tristan, the next year, now mind you, so I told Sonny, you gotta get somebody else to help.
Yep.
Because Tiny starts the team. So Bassie's brother had came and said, yeah, we gotta leave. I said, I get it. And he said, sure you don't want us, man, why don't you look out for it? I said, yeah, dude, it's okay. I said, with you, with your brother, we can win by 19. Without him, we'll win by 10. It's all good. That's family. You go ahead. Seriously. You don't even know that. Okay? And then Tiny picked up with Mel Bradley, who ended up going to Kentucky.
Yep.
He had Chris Taft, okay, who ended up going to Pittsburgh, all right, and in the NBA. He was loaded.
Yeah.
See, at that time, everybody's loaded.
Yeah, a lot of talent. A lot of talent all around this thing.
Now, check this out. We go to Bob Gimmons. We're loaded. Guess what our point guard was, at the time, the two guard. So now we played Bassie with Gary Irvin. All right? And now our two guard at the time was Lenny Cook, the number one player in the country. We're loaded. Still with Curtis, still with Charlie, and still with Jason.
Oof.
Tim Doyle was the 8-man who ends up going to St. John.
That's a lot of heat.
We had Mikey Claxton, that bum, all right? Speedy's younger brother. We had Aubrey Scott. Come on, Hempstead. You need to remember Aubrey Scott. He was a Hempstead kid. Aubrey was the 6-man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you got Aubrey Scott over there.
Dude, we're loaded. So now we're playing the game. I'll never forget. Every team we played, Lenny Cook might have had 30 points. Lenny was that guy. Listen, I know people heard all kinds of stories. That it's true. Lenny was that dude. Every team we played, matter of fact, we played against Omari Stoudemire. Who's the kid? Travis Outlaw, another NBA player.
Yeah,
and this kid named Dwayne Washington was a McDonald's All-American, right? Ended up being those three guys. And I'll never forget, they were trying to tell us who was going to play in the playoff. And Lenny and I went over there and said, we went Omari Stoudemire. We mercy ruled him.
For real?
We mercy ruled him. And what ended up happening is Lenny got hurt the last game, and we losing the championship by a point.
Yeah.
Lenny was okay. But here's what happened though. But after that, I had to make some tough decisions. Charlie wasn't there at the time, and I had to tell the guys, somebody's gonna have to go. So what you mean? I said, we got too much, and Lenny, man, he's too much. Because now at this point, I'm getting tired of coaching him out every other minute because all he wants to do is score. And I said, we're gonna cut Lenny. So Nate Caggigan said, Charles, are you out your damn mind? He's the number one player in the country. Are
You're
you
getting
crazy?
pushback.
Oh, I'm getting all kind of pushback.
Okay.
And I said, fellas, listen, man. Charlie Villan waivers coming in. I need to make room for him.
Yeah.
See, Charlie will listen. Lenny won't.
Oh, that's
right?
a fact. That's a fact.
Okay. So I said, I already did what I was supposed to do, which was make sure Lenny was still down with us until ABCD camp so he could come to ABCD camp.
Yeah.
I did my job.
Yeah.
He's got to go.
Go.
Talk to Lenny. I told his people. They understood it was all good. And now, boom, we got Charlie. In the meantime, Gary Irvin, there was a game. It was going to be us against the New York team, whatever. Gary said, yo, I'm going to go play with Bassie. I said, Gary, if you go play with Bassie, don't come back. You said, don't come back. So we go play in the game in this event. Gary's playing with them. I said, I got it. So he called me 3 days later. Coach, when they practice? I said, oh, no. You're done.
You put your foot down.
I put my foot down. Okay? You're done. And I end up replacing him with a kid by the name of Taquan Dean. Taquan Dean ends up going to Louisville. One of the best shooters we ever had.
Yes.
Okay?
All right? He's a dog, too.
What?
He's a
so
dog.
My thing was, okay. See, I'm that dude now. So I'm like just gonna replace you, with someone else. So that year, Tristan, we won 6 championships. That team, 2001, with Jason and
y'all didn't lose.
We didn't lose.
Y'all didn't lose.
We beat Carmelo a couple times. Melo. We beat, by the way, it's a true story. Jason Frazier used to own Chris Bosh. We beat them a couple of times in the semifinal. Okay, we beat Deron Williams' team. Deron Williams, who ended up going pro. Whatever. We beat his team. We didn't lose. So what happened? People say, okay, let's do a special game. Okay, I say, yo, LeBron's coming in. Okay, we're gonna have LeBron play with Bassey and them. Okay, so now they have Bassey at the point, with Mel Bradley, who ends up in Kentucky at the 2. LeBron at the 3. This kid, 6'9" kid named Jamaria Davidson, they brought up from Alabama.
Alabama, he went to Alabama.
He went to Alabama, okay, and Chris Tack at the 5.
Oh, so they put this together so they can beat you.
Come on, man. Come on.
Who's on our squad?
Our squad is the same guy I just told you. We got the guys. So now what ends up happening is what happened to Marvin McCullough, because we used to have Marvin McCullough. We ended up going to Iona. But now when we went to Vegas, we had Showtime, Dow Hill.
That's the missing ingredient.
Ooh. So it's Dow Hill against Bassey. You know what I mean?
That's the missing ingredient. Showtime.
Taquan against Ramel Bradley. All right? It's Charlie Villanueva / Curtis Sumter against LeBron.
I like that. I like that in high school.
You feel me? Exactly. And it's Jamaria Davidson is guarding either Charlie or Curtis. But that's our team. And we had Alan Ray on the
And you
team.
got Jason Frazier out there.
Come on, man. Ain't nobody messing with Jason Frazier. I don't care who you are. I mean,
Jason was the modern day Bill Russell at this thing.
People don't understand. To me, and this is a true story, y'all. Jason Frazier, if he would have came out of high school, was guaranteed to go number 21. I was told. 21. I'll never forget, he was having a conversation with Melo, and Melo was like, yo, what you doing, man? You coming out? He's like, nah, man, I'm staying. Jay had 6 knee surgeries.
I know.
I think the first scrimmage or game he had at Villanova, he scored 38 or something like that. Some ridiculous, something like that. Jason Frazier
is a pro.
Dude, you don't understand.
A shoe-in, 100% shoe-in pro.
Look, let me tell you something, right? Going back to something we said about the guys, I realized that I had put myself in a position that you didn't want to be with us, then I have somebody else, okay? And also to me, it was important to teach. Remember what I said about teaching how to be a man? It was important to teach guys to become a man.
Yes, sir.
And there's a famous story in that where I say, we're in a semifinal game, okay? And Lamar shows up at the end of the first quarter. The place is going crazy. And we're playing against Shaheen Holloway's team again, okay, at the time. And now people are going crazy. And we go to halftime. And I remember Nate saying, all right, we should be good now. We have Lamar Odom. Lamar's here, okay? And I said, yeah, but I'm not going to play him.
I see where this is going.
Okay, and Nate was like, again, see, Nate was that guy who was in my head. Charles, are you out your damn mind?
Are you out your mind? This is L. Odom.
So now second half started, and at some point, it's a close game. The whole game is close. Call the time at one point, and now some of the gangsters come walking to me, and I said, you know I say. And they're like, Coach. So they used to call me everybody. They used to call me Short Riley for Pat Riley, right? Because of the way I dressed. The way we won. So instead of Pat Riley, I was Short Riley.
Yeah.
Like, Short Riley, please play a Short Riley. Do this. I got money in this game. There you go.
I got cash on the line. Get him in the game, Gee. Come on.
I said, I got to teach him a lesson, y'all. This is bigger than the game. This is bigger than the game. All right? So we win the game. Okay? But let me tell you something, though. But when you're going to teach somebody a lesson like that, you got to pick the right time to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that to you to say, but I also have Speedy Class on my damn team too.
Yeah, you're not a fool. I got some hitters. So we get this done.
Okay. and to this day, Shaheen Holloway said the only guard that ever outplayed me was Speedy Class in that damn game. I can't believe you didn't play Lamar. We still talk about that, and I didn't play Lamar. Yep. But here's what happened. I didn't say a word to him. But that night, we were playing in another event at Riverside Place in Manhattan. Just the name of that place. And we're playing Riverside Church in the championship that night with Ron Artest, their whole team. Ron Artest, Anthony Glover, Elton Brand. They were loaded. We beat them. Listen, I don't know if we ever lost a game with Speedy Claxton.
Wow.
Speedy Claxton, I don't think anybody really ever saw the real Speedy Claxton in the pros. Okay, because he got hurt.
Yo.
People thought it was Lamar with him, the other guys. No, man, my secret weapon was Speedy Claxton.
He was the heartbeat.
What? So when we won, and we be up 1 point, 2 points, whatever, but I never thought because I had Speedy on the floor, we were ever going to lose that game. So we earlier we had won the championship. Speedy was the MVP at Portchester tournament. Okay, the CY League. We beat Riverside in the championship. Then now we're playing them up there in Manhattan. That same day now, that night, we beat them. And the reason I always remember that game is because your boy Tavares Bell, and Tavares, you remember this? Tavares Bell was not happy unless he got a dunk. He had to get a damn dunk.
I just need 8 dunks, and he's good.
I need 8 dunks, and he's good. Well, he still hadn't gotten the dunk. So I take out the team, because we up 18. Whatever the heck it was, we were up. Tavares won't get out. Don't want to get out. I said, okay, man. Don't get hurt. Tavares goes up for a dunk. Ron Artest comes and go clock and clocked him. We thought he was dead. He was laid on the ground. We thought he was dead.
Yeah, Ron Artest. You know how he
Ron's like, you're not doing that again. You beat us by 18, think you're doing that?
Nah.
I didn't play that.
He's not playing that.
Not playing that. So next thing you know, Tavares gets up and we all bust out laughing.
Yeah, told you.
So now we beat him. So now the next day, we got to play them in the championship at ISA. I walk in the gym maybe an hour early. Guess who's in the gym?
Who's in there?
Lamar Odom.
Odom.
His ass wasn't gonna be late for that game.
You picked the right spot. He was embarrassed, and it humbled him.
He still talks about that. And so obviously now with him and Speedy and Malik Allen and the crew that we had, we win the championship, and him and Speedy ended up getting co-MVP. Even though he missed the damn game, they still gave him co-MVP because he was that guy.
Because he was the guy, man. He's the cream of the crop. Guy, tell me, because you put me on to the bigger part of basketball, right? Mm-hmm. As far as branching out. You're my first AAU experience, and I'm on the scene. I'm seeing what's his name? Dude that went to Cincinnati, White. Flight White he was windmilling from the free throw line. DC Assault. But I'm saying, I'm seeing these guys.
Oh, you saw DJ.
James White.
You saw Jamal Johnson.
Yeah, I'm seeing James White. I'm from Amityville. I'm playing CYO. I went to New York, and you said I need that guy. So I'm like, yeah, I'm there. My first encounter was at the ISA and then I'm seeing the bigger basketball world, right?
I know if you remember, you played against Daniel Ewing, who ended up going to Duke, and TJ Ford, who obviously played in the NBA. That's when, to me, when Bassie got humble and realized, like, oh, because you and E-Star held your own.
It was a great matchup. Yeah, me and E-Star played very well together.
Oh, absolutely. And then when Bassie went in there, they were boom, boom, boom. I'm like, you see what I mean, Bassie?
Yeah, he still needed a little bit of time. He needed a little time.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
What I'm saying is I started to recognize, and I'm seeing all these different people, especially the adults, having conversations and everything like that. What's going on behind the scenes with the coaches and the AAU coaches and like the college coaches, the AAU coaches, and at that time you can even go pro. What's some of the conversations that are going on about these top players, right? I was a top 100 guy, but we're talking about the top 30, top 20 guys. What are some of the conversations business-wise that are being had really from that mid-90s to that 2005?
Yes. Because I was Tony Vaccell's right hand, I got to hear everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so what people don't know is that obviously Sonny had known all the coaches. At some point, they used to work for him at a camp somewhere, and they become NBA coaches or they became NBA college coaches. Well, the same thing happened to me. Some of the guys that used to work at ABCD camp eventually became either NBA coaches or college coaches or what have you.
Yes.
So we had a bond.
Yes.
They trusted us.
Yes.
So the conversation would be, what do you think about that kid? You think that kid is going to be? Because I never forget that we played a game, and it was Charlie Villanueva was playing against, and Jason Frazier, that team in LA, and against Chris Bosham. And Mike Dunleavy, who was the Lakers coach at the time, came to the game.
Yeah.
So did Mitch Kupchak, who was the general manager for the Lakers, came to
Yes.
the game. A couple other scouts from other teams, they came to the game because they felt those guys had a chance to
Yes.
go right out of high school.
Okay.
So we were privy to those things. So they were telling me. That's how I knew that Jason was a lock to go 21. Because these guys would call me and say, yo, Gee, if your boy is at this number, we're taking him. Okay? And so I knew about Jason. I knew about, like, Charlie. Like, I remember my boy from Indiana Pacers said, yo, Gee, we're taking Charlie at 15. Charlie didn't last more than 7. So in my mind, but you know why they took him? And let me tell you what happened. They spent so much money, making sure you're the right guy.
Okay.
Because you could cost their livelihood.
Yes.
So I used to have investigators park over here at my house. Like, what are these guys here? And then after a while, I realized they were checking me out to make sure what was going on. Yeah. Charlie ran on a waiver, ended up going over 7 because you know why?
Why?
He didn't have any posse. It was just Charlie, Nate Blue,
Yep.
his family. Or he was with us. Charlie did nothing wrong, so they loved that. See, what God don't know sometimes is that they end up falling in the draft because of the people they surround themselves with. People don't want to take that chance.
Okay.
Charlie was a great kid.
Yep. Really
Checked
quiet.
off all the box, real quiet and all of that. He gets drafted number 7. That's all part of the reason. This all now. You talk about behind the scenes.
Yes.
Sonny would not let me put Speedy Claxton in the round ball. No matter how many times I told him, he said, "I'm not putting a goddamn kid that's a Hofstra University, going to Hofstra in the round ball." Sonny, okay, I'm just telling you. Sure enough, though, fast forward, now I get Speedy as a counselor because ABCD, the counselors were the top college kids. They're the ones that kept the clock. Yep, exactly. Yep. And pros will work them out. George Carl, who was with the Denver Nuggets at the time, was the head guy, and he worked them out. All right, all the guys. Well, Speedy was gonna go. I was told he was not gonna go past 22 to Toronto. All right, but the Sixers took him 1 pick in front. Do you know why?
Why?
Because those same dudes used to be at ABCD camp and they watched Speedy for 2 years work out at ABCD. But they didn't want to tell me because they didn't want anybody to know. So they snatched him at 21. And now I never forget that one of my guys, Noodles, his name was Noodles. He was with Toronto. He said, Speedy, man, we really wanted him. But the assistant coach from the Sixers used to be at our camp every year.
Every year.
Saw Speedy, didn't say a word.
He kept it in the tuck. It's time to snatch him.
Speedy and his whole family, his people, we were at a pub at right across the street from hospital. Said we're gonna do it there, and we all sitting there chilling. We're watching. The numbers getting there. I said, "Yo, Speedy, yeah, you're gonna go 22." Not even thinking about 21. All of a sudden, because remember that they had AI. Think about that. They had AI.
Yes.
And next thing over here, and number 21, Speedy Claxton. The place went crazy. I was like, "What?
What? I didn't see that coming."
See that coming. So those are the type of things that would go on. So even at the round ball, for example, like you said, backdoor, when the games will be over, the All-American game, all the scouts will come up to Sonny's suite, and we will all go in the back, and we would discuss which kids make sense, which kids do you do stuff with, or let's go back to something else. Yep. Sonny would say to me, "Gary, who do I give a shoe deal to? Who's that kid?" Yep. You understand? Yep. Like, I never forget. Like, I'll give you a perfect example.
Give me an example.
Bassy was getting all the marketing, as you remember. Bassy.
Yeah, yep.
But when Sonny and I went to the back room, I said, "Sonny, he's not the one you give the contract to." He said, "Yeah, I can only give it to one." Okay? And, oh my God, my mind just went blank, so help me out here. We gave it, I said, "Sonny, it's the other kid." He ended up going to, actually, he went right out of high school and tore his knee up, but ended up having a hell of a career at Golden State.
Sean Livingston.
I said, "Sonny, it's got to go to Sean." Dude is 6'7" and got all of that. Sean was one of the best point guard I'd ever seen.
6'7" PG.
PG. Yeah. He said, "That's the one, Sonny." Again, quiet, mellow.
Yeah.
He didn't bring a whole lot of stuff to him.
Oh no.
And I said, so I think everybody was shocked. But again, because Bassey was one of ours, of course we were going to market him. Of course we're going to do that thing. That's why they put on his people brought him to me in 8th grade. They said, listen, man, we know you're the marketing genius. We want him with you. Okay? I said, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
I said, you got to chill, though. And I'll never forget, matter of fact, that year, you remember that Jamel Thomas, his damn brother.
Oh, he was on your hip like a beeper.
Exactly. Gee, come on, man.
Come on, Gee. Like, yo,
Yeah.
I watched it. I watched it.
To watch, I'm like, yo, Mel.
He's
He's
gonna have
not
his
going
time.
pro
Just
next
chill
year.
up.
He got his time, man. He got
Yeah.
4 more years.
He got 4 more years in this thing.
Chill. It's gonna be all right. And sometimes I don't think guys understand. It hurts them when you're about to make a decision about a shoe deal, about to get somebody millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You don't want too much headache. Now the good thing is Jamel really was great. I love Mel. Mel played for me a little bit. Okay, that's my guy. So I could talk to Mel because at one point I had to tell Mel something that Bassey did. He's like, "Oh, he did, huh?" And I knew it wasn't gonna be a good day for Bassey that night. Okay, so Mel was good, but that's how it was back then. You know, because you were there, because it was affecting you. You know, so I'm like, oh man, this kid didn't do anything wrong. He's out there balling. He's doing this thing, man. Like, can the brother get a break? Can you please?
That's what happens when there's an abundance of riches on the rosters. One basketball, and that's another thing too. Like, there's a lot of egos. A lot of people are trying to find their place in the basketball world, rankings and all these different. And this is pre-NIL money stuff, so you still right.
Yeah,
Right? So
you know what?
there's stuff going on there.
That's it. Yeah, so there was all kind of deals through the back door. Like even picking an all-star team, ABCD Chem. I'm the head guy, and Tom Kachowski would give me a list. Hoot Scoop would give me his list. Everybody give me a list, and then I got put together with a couple of guys. But of course, every grassroots coach, yo, Gee, come on, man, put my kid down. Man.
Get my guy down. We got 24 spots, brother.
You're killing me. I had to hear this all the daggone time, and I'm like, I gotta do a swipe. But because I understood the game, so we would pick 20 guys.
You get
okay, we got 20. All right. So then I would write the other 4 names politically. So let's say if I gave 8 names, I would write it on the side. I would slid the whole list under Sonny's door at 2 a.m. every year. About 2 a.m. by the time we got done. Okay. I'm like, here are the political picks. Here are the guys who didn't make it, Sonny. Who do you need?
Who do we need?
So, 7 a.m. on the dot. So I only got a couple hours sleep. Sonny would call me, Garrett, let's go with this. So what do you think about that? Well, what would happen to me if I don't put this? Well, so-and-so might not show up into the Round Ball American. All right. So these are the things that we used to do. This is the game. Okay, like I'll give you a great story.
Exactly.
Way back when, all right, hey guys, you might think this was easy, but it wasn't back then, what I'm about to say to you. You had one team, it was a New Orleans Jazz, my man Thad Fouché. Thad Fouché right now is one of the biggest agents in the business. At the time, though, it was him and I, Sonny. We were the 3 Musketeers, the 3 of us. He had 2 players. He had a kid named Lester Earl, who was a top 3 player in the country at the time. He was like Karl Malone, Mandigo Warrior. He was that dude, and I'm going Kansas. Kansas. Thad also had another kid named Corey Maggette, who ended up going to LSU. But we could only take 1. So those are 2. No. The 3 different programs, we could take 2 from one of them, but only one of them could have 2 players. The second program is Jimmy Salmon, who was coaching New Jersey players. He had Tim Thomas, which obviously won. He had Kevin Freeman, who ended up going to UConn. And you go, that dude, he's got 2.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, so that's 2 programs. Well, here's the third program, y'all. There's a team called Sam Ryan. Now, everybody thinks that Kobe played with Jersey players. Kobe played in 2 events with them. It is true that him, Vince Carter, and who's the other guy? Tim Thomas played together.
Was it McGrady?
Yeah, no. It was Tim Thomas, Vince Carter.
Oh, Tim Thomas, Vince Carter, and Kobe. Yes.
And Kobe.
Yes.
It's true.
Yeah.
And then, I got a million stories, but the bottom line is Kobe went with him. The dad called me. I'm like, yeah, let him go. But Kobe wanted to go because he wanted to examine his players because he knew he was going to be playing against them down the line.
I want to get up front next to him so I can get some intel.
There you go. So now, Kobe's team, Sam Ryan, that's what he really played with. Guess who the other guy was on his team?
Who was that?
Richard Hamilton.
Grip.
All right, rip. So now we have to make a choice, but we can't take all of them. Only in those 3 programs, we could take 2 kids from one. And the other ones, you can only take 1.
Okay.
All right. So now, let me tell you what your boy do. Okay. So I said, Sonny. No, Dad said, Sonny, take Lester. I'll talk to Corey. Dad was always taking the hit. Dad was always like, I got this.
I got this.
That's my guy. Okay, now it's Jimmy Salmon, you know, and Coleman, what are you going to do? I said, listen, y'all, let's cut the crap. We got to take Kobe and Richard Hamilton. But what are we going to do with Jimmy? You know, Jimmy's going to go crazy. Jimmy's one of those guys like at that time, well, Timmy ain't playing it. Why don't I have my guys ain't playing? So son said, Gary, what are we going to do? I said, I got an idea. He said, what? I said, we're going to make Jimmy the head coach of the game. So when I go to Jimmy, I said, Jimmy, we can't have Kevin Freeman not playing. Jimmy's going crazy. He's going crazy. I said, Jimmy, but you're going to be the head coach of the game. He looked at me and he said, and that's why your Sonny's right hand. And he walked away. So I told Kevin the story.
So you traded his player for him as a coach.
Kevin said, he sold me out. He sold me out. I said, yes, he did. He was the head coach. Man, so that was part of my job. You know,
and this is the type of stuff. This is the type of. You have to have some wisdom. You have to have some understanding on how people move to make some of these chess moves on the board, because it's a domino effect and a ripple effect.
Exactly.
If you go the wrong way, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody's always going to want something, and you can't give everybody everything all the time.
Hey. By the way, just so you understand, because we all make mistakes. You know, my biggest mistake was that now again picking the All-Star team, and I had Joakim Noah recruiting one of my guys, this guy, to have us play with us. But he said, man, I'm going back to Europe, whatever. Can't play in the circuit. I'm like, damn. So now it's time for the pick the All-Star. So the last one between him and another kid. I take the other kid. I said, hey, he ain't going to be back. So let's take the other kid. So now, fast forward a couple years later, I'm going to the Garden. I'm going to the NBA draft.
Yep.
I get off Penn Station. I'm going upstairs. I do a double take because the players are coming out to go. The kid turned around and looked at me. You didn't pick me for All-Star. You did. The kid's about to get drafted. You didn't pick me for All-Star. But you know, like he remembered.
He remembered.
It was Tim Parker. I mean, it was Tony Parker.
Tony Parker.
Tony Parker. True story. True story. Give you another one. Okay, let me give you Sonny one, because me and Sonny were getting at each other. I said, Sonny, I just saw this kid. He said, what? I saw this kid down in Virginia. Sonny, this kid is all of that. Sonny, he belongs in camp. I'm telling you, this kid belongs in camp. What is he? I said, he's a sophomore. We'll get him next year. Sonny, man, why do we all got to go through this? I said, all right. Well, Nike took that kid that summer because the kid blew up.
Oof.
Kevin Garnett.
Oof. Sometimes you gotta go. You gotta go with that gut feeling. Sometimes you gotta do it.
Sonny, I'm telling you, man. So, you know, and there's honestly a million stories. And there's some stories, you know, like I can't even talk about, you know, but that's been out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things that we also found out, Tristan, was that sometimes the college coaches were not really telling these players the truth,
right,
about where they could be in the draft.
Right.
Saying out with the people, the family would call, said, that's not true. If you go, you're gonna be number 12. And again, people didn't know.
Yeah, especially families and players. They don't really know they don't know all of that stuff.
No, you know. Listen, you know what? Charlie Villanueva, you know, love that kid. Right? I tell you a famous story about Charlie. Charlie is coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to go to the draft. I said, okay. We set up all these workouts. He's working out for every team, blah, blah, whatever. Now, all of a sudden, we get to the last one. It's the New Jersey Nets. The head coach is Byron Scott. And it's working out. And I said, CV, so what do you think? He said, well, what did they tell you? I said, you're going to go 28 to Dallas or 29 to San Antonio. That's where you're going to go. He said, what, 28, 29? I said, yeah. He said, so if I don't, what should I do? I said, you probably should go to UConn. He said, UConn? I said, yeah, but you're going to have to play 2 years. Hold on, coach. If I go to the draft right now, I'm going to be a first-round pick But if I go to UConn, I gotta play 2 years. I said, Charlie, it's not about you going to the NBA. It's about you staying in the NBA. Okay? Because at that time, Charlie couldn't guard a couch.
Nah, he was kind of say slow footed.
Come on, man. I
Yeah.
said, my guy, I'm trying to get you. And that goes back to what I've said about the reason that we've been able to produce over 20 pros is because the guys were listening. And Charlie, his brother, took it in stride. And it's so funny because Charlie said, so what we are, and Byron was looking at me laughing, right? And I said, he said, but I got to put my name out. He said, today's the last day, right? I said, yeah. What we going to do? I said, I got the letter right here, man. Just sign your name right here.
Just
We're going to
sign your
send it
name,
in,
man.
okay?
We already know what we're doing, man.
And we faxed it.
Go hit
From
the
there.
showers and let's go get something to eat.
I had to fax it to Stu Jackson. I called Stu. I said, yo, Stu, I'm about to fax you this letter. Stu is my man over there, one of the top dudes in the NBA. I said, Stu, it's coming. Taking his name out. And we faxed it and turned out to be a great decision.
Yes, it
So,
did.
you know, so it's things like that I could tell you, stories like that. Like Joe Kim Noah. Joe Kim Noah was a ball boy, ABCD camp. He was our ball boy.
Yeah.
Ball boy.
Yeah.
You know, same thing. You know, like, okay, now he ends up going to Billy Donovan. I said, hey, man, you're not going to play your first year.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not playing. You're not playing, man, so don't call me, okay, because this is a bigger picture. So
Yeah.
what does he do? Middle of the year, he calls me, complaining. And I said, didn't I tell you not to call me your first year? Click, and I hang up the phone on.
Yeah.
What happens? The next 2 years, they win the national championship.
Yeah.
And boom.
And
There you go. It's things like that. I could tell you the Danny Green story. So all these things happen, you know, the way they were supposed to happen because they listen. A lot of kids don't, man. They get off the yellow brick road.
so Guy, tell me how it starts to slide into the finality, the changing of the guard with the Panthers, and then you sliding into new positions. Let's talk about that time frame, right? Because obviously there's always elevation, there's always a crossroads on how long do I stay, who do I need to pass it off to? Like that's the type of stuff in the business world that a lot of people that are not in that world, they don't understand.
Again, you know, as a chess player, I'm always thinking ahead.
Yes.
I could see the future. And now when Sonny kind of retired, we still wanted to have a reason
What
to
year
go
is this? Give us the year.
I want to say like 2007, 2008.
Okay,
Okay.
continue.
And but somebody needed to run the tournament in Vegas. And there's this guy named another guy said, "Yeah, man, why don't we start a tournament in Vegas?" I'm like, "Man, I'm busy." Whatever. He said, "Come on." He said, "People respect you.
Yes.
You can get the teams." I said, "Okay." Sure enough, he said, "Okay, we'll get 48 teams the first year." I said, "We're gonna get more than that." He said, "Nah, it's gonna be 48." And that was the reason why it was called Fab 48 the first year because those be 48, but we ended up getting 110 because now I started to make calls and other people started coming out of respect. Now
Yes.
teams could come and I would always say this, you know, shout out to Nike in that they respected me enough to allow their Nike team to come, you know, to the event. And that's always been an important reason why I never put a shoe company behind my event so that way all shoe companies could come. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I always remember a famous quote from Jay Wright when he came out there. He said, "Damn it, I have to come all the way to Vegas to see two teams from Philly play." Okay, because one was Under Armour, the other was, you know,
Yeah, because they got the different shoe deals.
they got the different shoe deals, but they would all come. So at that time, I realized that there's only 24 hours in a day. You can only do but so much.
Yes.
You know, I'm raising my kids, and you know, which is a famous story. Part of the reason why I didn't go with Kobe. When Kobe's family asked me to become his agent, I said, "Nah, I need to be around to raise my kids." That was important to me. That meant more to me than any money in the world. So I knew I was raising my kids. I'm working on Wall Street because I had a real job, okay, and um, now I'm doing this event, which is going to take a lot of time. So I had to make a decision. So, you know, I put my 30 years in. And at some point, I had made a decision because Skip wanted to coach. So Skip, shout out to Skip.
Shout out to
Skip,
Skip.
you know, started coaching the Panthers. And not only was he coaching the Panthers, he was putting money behind the Panthers.
Okay.
And it used to be the funniest thing to me in that, you know, when they go out to eat, Skip is running right to McDonald's with him. And he's first online. He's doing the McDonald's. He's going to Burger King. And I'm like, I ain't going there with y'all. I'm going over here to Applebee's or one of
Yeah,
those,
yeah. I'm
you
gonna go
know.
sit. I'm gonna do a sit down, John.
I'm gonna do a sit down. But Skip was like, shoot yourself, okay? And he was
Yeah,
all in. He was washing the uniforms,
all
okay?
in.
He's all in. I never forget when he won
That's
a
dope.
championship in Arizona. He kissed that trophy 12 times. I'm like, dude, you stop kissing the damn trophy. But I'll tell you what he did though. He went and called a limousine service and drove his behind back to Vegas so he can go gambling in. Okay, that was my boy Skip, man. Okay,
Yes,
right after he
that's
won the
dope though. But he
championship,
really bought into the whole
he
thing.
all in. Skip
And
was
you're
all in.
watching this. You're watching this like, yo,
I'm watching. I'm
he's
watching
invested.
this thing.
He's invested.
Listen, you know how certain people that you could see what they
Yes.
could be.
Yes.
He was invested. Like for example, when Darius Burton played, I could see what he could be. You know,
Hmm.
my backcourt. That imagine Darius Burton and Skip Tumalu in the backcourt.
That's a lot
That was
of
the fun.
that's a lot of basketball IQ too.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, and,
Yeah.
and the thing is that like I knew Darius could be a coach one day. I knew
Yeah.
he had that capability. So you've seen it on certain guys. Greg Nunn. You know, Greg Nunn is out there on the West Coast now, hanging out with Lamar. He lives in a beautiful home.
Yep.
He's another guy I thought he could be a coach. He could be that guy. The Jamal Smiley, like certain people you just see, okay, what they could become if they
Yeah.
stay at, you know, certain things. Okay. So yeah, I think in our program we have been, you know, fortunate in a lot of ways. And it always to me always started I'm just going back and to go forward. It
Yes.
always started the point guard because they had to be the extension of me.
Yes.
So the Tristan Smith, the Darius Burton, the Skip, the Speedy Claxton, the Khalid El Amin,
Yes.
okay, Shabu Mosley. Like people don't even see Shabu Mosley, you know,
Shab.
like Jesus. I mean, there weren't too many people quick in the Shab.
No,
Okay.
Shab was super quick.
Oh my God. So, you know, you think about these things. The Mike James. Oh, I can't leave without the Mike James story. Mike James. Now let me tell the audience the Mike James, because you're gonna love this story. So Mike, and this is what I mean when I say staying with somebody, making sure you're there for them, okay?
Yes.
So we had put Mike in prep school up at Redemption. Mike
Redemption.
messed up. Mike messed up. He had to come home. Then I had to
Yes.
go find, say, oh my God, I had to get him to write a letter, all these things. So now eventually we were playing in a tournament. Wally Zerbiak was on the team at the time. We're in Ohio, Andy
Okay.
Parsons tournament. The coach from Duquesne, assistant coach, comes to me and he says, I need a guard. I said, I got a guard. He said, where's he at? I said, he's in Long Island. He said, but tomorrow's the last day. We couldn't fit. I'm like, if you want the guard, come tomorrow.
Yep.
Now we left that day of Saturday. So I called Mike. It's 7 a.m. Mike, hello? Mike, get your ass up. Meet me at Roosevelt Park at 8 a.m. Mike, shut the blank up and meet me at Roosevelt Park at 8 a.m. Again,
Okay.
goes back to what I'm telling you, what, you know, people listening.
Yes.
Okay, G, okay.
Okay.
I get there. Tom Kachowski is at Roosevelt Park. Now, at that time, y'all, I still think I'm on scholarship, okay? So every Sunday, me and my boys would come to Roosevelt Park and we would play every Sunday morning, okay? So
Tom Kachowski's out there.
Tom Kachowski there because, you know, somebody's got to drive him. He don't drive, okay?
He don't
So Tom,
drive.
so the guy picks him up from the airport and he brings Tom with him. And Tom told him a little bit about Mike. And they're sitting there. They're sitting there on the bench right outside the park. So me and my boy Rod Barnes, we go in there like we normally do. You know, we're choosing, right? Okay, who's going to be on the team? Whatever, right? Boom.
Right.
I'm like, all right, Mike, you over here. So the game starts. Now, in this day of age, everybody does the crossover, okay? Well, back then, it wasn't a crossover. It was an in and out. You went in and you went out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Mike takes off. Mike does an in and out layup. The coach turns around and says, I'll take him.
That's it. That's it. Off the relationship, and you had it on the professional side with the coach, and you had it with the player side. You brought him at 8 a.m. in the morning and got the deal done. And Mike turns out to be a 13-year
I said, Mike,
vet.
come here, man. What's up, coach? Meet your new coach.
It's your new coach.
And the guy, and he was good with it. He's like, yo, Gee, that's where you went. Mike, Meet your new coach.
Hey, that's and Guy, I think that's something too that I've learned over the course of my life is the value of the relationship. It's a form of currency.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like what somebody knows about you can get you in or out.
You know,
And out.
listen, I'm telling you, like I had an NBA guy one time, I can't say who, I had
Yep.
an NBA team call me, and the guy said to me, hey, Gary, I got two guys. We can only take one. Which one should I take? I said, you sure? He said, Gary, everything is a tie. And I said, well, take player number one. He said, why play number one? I said, because damn it, he played for me. He said, say no more. It's a true story.
Say no
I
more.
don't go around and tell people that, but it's a true story because Sonny always told me, if it's a tie always goes to family.
That's a
If it's
fact.
a tie,
That's a
right?
fact. That's a
I'm
fact.
like, so, and my man knew that. I said, he played for me. He
Yeah.
said, say no more.
Yeah.
Those things happen all the time.
All the
Okay,
time.
players? Happen all the time. I used to tell guys all the time, look at that in the bench. At that time, you would see a white guy sitting at the end of the bench. Why? Because he doesn't bring you any crap.
Yeah.
He's doing this for the team. He goes
Yeah.
home on his business. He does all the right things. Ain't nobody want to troublemaker at the end of the bench.
You don't want to troublemaker at the end of the bench.
Oh, man, no. So, yeah, so you know what? So I learned as I was going on, I was keeping all this in my head. And then obviously at some point, I become that OG. I become the godfather. So people are calling me. People are doing things across the country.
Across the country.
Riverside used to call me sometime about the radio. Gee, can you help me with this? And I'm all about the kids.
Yes.
I'm like, it's all good.
And this is right up your alley, dude. Like you've been doing this. I mean, you had a car at 13. You know what I'm saying? Like this is right up your alley. So I mean, like this lane that's been carved through the game of basketball is pretty much right up your alley. And you have been so impactful. Like you said, you can't name everybody. And you've crossed everybody's path and you have stories with and about everyone, right? So this is why we celebrate you here. Bring us up to speed with some of the things that we got going on and how it ties into the landscape of today's game, because the landscape has changed quite a bit.
Yeah, I run an organization called ABIS, Advancing Beyond in Sports,
Shout
and
out
I'm the
to that.
CEO for it. Okay, and most of the minority coaches in all the sports are part of this in college, whether it's basketball, football, track and field, baseball, all part of it. And we try to do a couple of things. And one of the things we do is we do something called a watch list. In that a lot of ADs and search firms say, well, Gary, we don't know who the next coach is, next minority coach is. And we go, oh, really? Well, here's the list. It's called a watch list.
Here's the watch.
And your peers vote for it. So meaning that the top assistant coaches are voting for who the top guys are. Same thing with the mid-major coaches. Who do we think are going to be the next top coaches? So every year we put that out. So all these coaches now waiting like, Gary, when's the list coming out?
I need the list.
So we do it for all the different sports. And, like even volleyball, like I had a young lady call me like, Gary, thank you. I didn't know who the hell I was talking to. She said, because of what you guys did, I'm not a head coach of Siena. And I'm like, well, damn. Okay, so because it's not me voting, it's, but I make sure everything happened.
Yeah,
And it
you
all
got
comes to me.
everything going on. You got a system.
Right. We got a system. So that's one of the things that we do. We do a financial coaching program in which we're teaching athletes about budget, your savings, your credit, okay, investment, okay, all these things that they didn't teach us because, as far as I'm concerned, man, I almost didn't graduate because damn physics. Okay, I haven't touched physics since I graduated out of goddamn college. What the hell is that for?
Right.
But this financial coaching, your whole life, your money, your saving, you need that. You need to understand how it all works, what your credit score should be. So that's another thing we do, and we do that at 12 different colleges across the country.
Dope.
And JP Morgan sponsors that, for us. Okay, they give us a grant to make that happen. Dope. We do a gala. We do a gala every year in that we honor us because I feel like we don't have to wait for somebody else to tell us when to honor us. Okay, we should be able to honor our own self, okay? And that's why we honored the Dr. J's. We named a award after Vivian Stringer. We gave it to Dawn Staley. We had an award named after Jackie Joyner Kersey. We gave it to Allison Felix. Dope. We honored Ryan Clark from ESPN. We honored T-Mac. We honored Chuck D from Public Enemy, with the John Carlos Social Activist Award. And you too young to know who John Carlos is, but he was the gentleman in 1968 Olympic that raised his arm. Okay, that famous
Yeah.
picture.
With
All
the
right, we have
fits.
award after that. So we have all these awards and we bring in people. We honor Jamil Hill. Even after she got let go of ESPN, we're like, we got you, sis.
Yeah.
You still with us.
Yeah.
So we do these things on purpose so we could feel good, about ourselves. All right. Dawn Staley's on my advisory board. Dr. J is on the advisory board. Ben Crump on the advisory board. Tracy McGrady's on the advisory board. Because Nikki Fargas is now the president of the Las Vegas Aces. She's on our board. Okay,
Big
these are
time.
the type of people that we have on that board because we understand how important that mission is. So I spend a lot of my time do that. I do my tournament in Vegas every year. Then I do the Gary Charles Hoop Classic first week in January. Okay, so you have my boy like Darius come bowling. What I love about Darius, he don't care who he plays. I want the smoke.
Set it up,
Darius
man. I
always
want to
wants the
smoke.
smoke. I want the smoke because he's preparing for later. He's
Yes.
like me, man. He's being strategic. He said, this is going to prepare me, for down the line. So there's certain teams that always come like the Chaminade. Chaminade is always good. And now we're doing it at their gym. And we're also going to do it this year at St. Dominic's. We're using 2 gyms. And we bring in girls teams,
Dope.
in it too. Baldwin's going to play Nazareth High School in the girls. I'm trying to get a team to play Lehigh because they're like one of the top teams in the country, but nobody wants to play them. So I got to figure that out.
People don't want that smoke.
I don't want that smoke. So
So,
those are
Guy, tell
some
me,
of the things I'm doing now.
tell me in a nutshell, because all of this is phenomenal. Tell me in a nutshell the difference that you've seen from you being front and center and behind the scenes, the landscape of basketball, when you fold in the NIL, when you fold in the contracts that are being had in basketball and the social media, and you can build your own brand and all this type of things. What's your thought?
Well, it's growing. Over 20 years ago, when Sonny and I used to talk to people about kids getting paid, it wasn't called NIL at that point. It just, these kids should get paid. I mean, they used to vilify Sonny and I. Even some of the people who are not supposed to be I'm down, they weren't down then. And I remember I would try to guilt them and say, yeah, I also remember when you didn't think that we should be drinking out the same water fountain. I remember you didn't think we should be in the same swimming pool.
Yeah.
Time for you all to wake up. I don't know why it always takes you forever to do the right thing. And I
Yeah.
mean it. I mean, it's like 20 years ago. I remember these things. So
Yeah.
to me, this was something that should have been happening.
Yeah.
And I remember one time me and this college coach, big time college coach, we were arguing about it because he was totally against it.
Yep.
And I said to the coach, Coach, let me explain something to you. I don't think you understand, and I get it why you don't understand because you're a white coach, you haven't been there. $500 or $1,000 can make the difference between a kid trying to stay in school, getting out of school, and going to work. You don't understand that. That could be the difference. I said, did you ever consider that money? Now you're going to be able to keep that kid? And now what I'm saying is, and they haven't announced it yet, but they're going to announce that kids are not going to be able to play 5 years. Okay?
Wow.
So, you're going to be able to get money for 5 years. Where you going? So like I tell these kids, where you going? You're not
Ain't
going
going
pro, so you
anywhere.
might as well make that money.
Yeah,
Okay?
they're not going anywhere.
Right. So right now, it's the Wild Wild West. I get it. But like I had told people, it was going to take 6 to 10 years
You said 6 to 10
for
years?
it to come together. In which we're, okay, let's create some rules.
A system.
A system. Okay, it's gonna take a minute. So I've watched it totally, grow. And I remember Lamar Odom called me. I forget when, and Jason called, and Jason's like, and they're both like, "Gee, how much money would I have made if we had NIL?" And I'm like, Lamar, ooh, Jason, you understand?
Yes,
So,
I do.
but they the ones who paved the road for the people now.
Yes.
And so I'm trying to tell people, be careful, use it properly, but, make sure you understand, you still need to get your education.
Yeah.
All right? It's not just about the money, okay? And this is why you even need, even more so, the financial coaching.
You need the
to
financial
understand.
literacy. There's more money being moved around, more opportunities for money to be made,
Yep.
even just branding yourself. So
Exactly.
you want to be able to have the right support system and the right structure. You have
Yeah.
to be a system yourself, individually.
Come on now. I got, Noah's Bell might have been a household name at this time, the way he jumped. Okay?
Most definitely. A lot of these guys would have been making a lot of money.
A lot of money. A lot of money. So, I mean, it's tough. I mean, I've been fortunate, okay? But you know what? But I try to put myself in a fortunate place.
Absolutely.
Okay? All right. So what you do in the past prepares you for the future, and you need to understand that, okay? That there's a method to this madness, all right? That you need to understand.
Gee, let's give a couple of Long Island Panthers some flowers from years past because you know all of them. You know, obviously you're not going to remember all the names, but who rings out as some of the top performers or top players that did certain attributes? Best shooter, jumper, clutch player. Who's some of the guys that ring out if you can categorize?
Well, here's what I'm gonna tell you. I mean, I can give you the answer, but then I gotta kill you. So, but I can tell you this that, and I have a thing. My most important player ever was Dennis Hamilton. Okay, and the reason for that is because if not for him, we never get a shoe deal to create everything else. So
Yeah,
I never forget where I come from, and I come from the Dennis Hamilton, the Derrick Brown, the Billy Owens, the Shaun White, the Gary Williams. Okay,
that
they
team right,
paid
that team right there was what
Paul
was
Coverson. He
spearheaded
spurted.
thing.
Yeah, Paul Coverson. And
Shout out
people
to
don't
you.
understand. I mean, Paul Coverson was like a 6'6" point guard. I mean, all these
Absolutely.
things that that was going on at the time. Obviously, the most impactful player was Lamar Odom.
Yes.
Okay, everything that kid touched, man. I mean, the world wanted to be. Listen, we would be going on a road trip. When we get there, there's already 20 girls waiting. I never understood how the hell they knew because we didn't have damn cell phones. But Lamar was that impactful
Rock star.
rock star.
Full rock
The
star.
the best rebounder, and we get back from Long Island, but the best rebounder were probably Joakim Noah and Malik Allen. So two pros,
Two
those
pro.
guys. Yep. The best defensive player, and that one is interesting because I can think about E-Star,
You
who
could
was
think about a perimeter guy, you know what I mean?
exactly
Yeah.
LeVar Postel. Like I don't think I had a chance to mention LeVar Postel.
Oh
He ended
man,
up
yeah,
playing for St.
he was clamping out there.
Oh my God! And he ended up, getting drafted, and go to NBA. LeVar was oof, but I probably would give it to Jason Frazier, the best defender player,
Bill
because
Russell, man.
I
It's
mean
Bill Russell.
he really that it was like we could play with two guys. I mean, you
Yeah,
try to,
yeah.
to come there. I mean, there's so many things that I remember. Trish, you don't even know. I remember a performance by you in that we had to play against Andre Barrett, Talik Brown, and Eric Cook, and people thought they were just gonna kill us. And we had our state, and we decided that it was Nate's idea. We are gonna play 1-3-1. He said, "Well, what we're gonna do? We're gonna put there." I said, "We're gonna put Tristan in the back because he's gonna be able to go from side to side, side to side." You don't remember
That's
that?
the football
Okay.
background I
There
had.
you go. And you were going side to side, stopping, and we ended up winning that game. People were shocked, could not believe it. But because I digress. The best shooter. Now let me explain something to y'all. We had some shooters.
Yes, you did.
Drew Nicholas was a shooter, and Drew Nicholas ended up going to University of Maryland and won a championship
I'm
at the
cool
U
with
High.
that pick. I like that
Okay,
pick. I
but
like
that's
that
not the
pick.
pick.
That's not the
Not the
pick?
pick. Not the pick.
Ooh,
We had Taquan Dean. Okay,
okay.
who was big time.
You got
Okay,
Taquan Dean for that?
we had Danny Green as a shooter.
That's another one.
I used to be like, Danny, just go to the corner, Danny. Go to the corner.
Cash.
But I got to go with Wally Zerbiak.
Wally Zerbia.
Got to go with Wally
Wally
Zerbiak.
World. Nah, that's the
Wally
one.
Wood.
That's the
All
right
right.
pick. That's the right pick.
Now,
That's the right
the
pick.
toughest minded player that I ever coached. Now, I thought about going with Tu Holloway. I
That's a
did.
good one.
Because when Tu played, and people trying to start trouble, Tu was the one that got up. Not over here. Tu was tough.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Gary Williams out of Bay Shore.
That's a good one. I like that one. I like that
Gary
pick.
Williams, the guy.
I like that pick.
Now, the most confident player, Lance Stevenson. In
Oh,
the 7th grade, he thought he was that dude. Okay,
yeah.
another one who thought he should be starting in the 7th grade. And he was
No,
playing with Joe
yeah.
Kim and Danny and them.
I
Most
mean,
confident player.
he still walks around with it today.
There you go. Most confident. My most fiercest competitor, and I had a lot of them.
You got
Like
a
I
lot of them.
mentioned, S1. Got a lot of them.
A
Okay.
lot of dogs.
But you know who that dude was?
Who's dog number one?
Khalid El Amin.
I like it. I like
Okay.
it.
He took UConn to the championship. He walked into the first practice
Change the
and
culture.
he said, Rick, you over here. So-and-so, you over here. Let's go. I got this. That's Khalid Amin. That's the way he was with us. I had never seen a guard outplay Khalid Amin. He's that dude. Now, the quiet assassin,
I like that pick.
I didn't think we lost the game with this quiet assassin. Speedy Claxton. People don't know.
Shout out to Speedy Claxton.
Okay. Now, the best all-around player. Whoo, this is tough.
This is
There was
really
a bunch of guys. This is tough.
you had 20 pros.
Come on, man. Now, and that's the other thing I want to tell people in that when you pick these things, okay, ask me who the top was. Well, what are you talking about? You talking about at that time, or you talking about when it became pros or whatever?
Later on in their career, like
because later on in
this,
their
I
career
think
they
it's
changed.
different. It slides
Yeah,
around.
yeah. Mike became better later on. To be honest with you, Mike
Absolutely,
James.
100%.
So best all around, there wasn't too many guys that was better all around than Billy Owens. I don't know. Billy was really, special. He really, really. But I would say to you, Danny Green, all right, at the end, because Danny just did all the little things. Now here's where it gets. This one is really tough. The most exciting player. Most exciting player.
You gotta look, probably them Bell boys.
It's the Bell boys.
It's
It's the Bell.
the
Okay,
Bell.
it's the
I
Bell
mean, you might
boys.
have to do a
Okay,
package between them
come on
both.
now. Come on. Listen, let me tell you something.
They were box office, dude.
Norris Bell beat Kobe Bryant in a dunk contest. You understand?
That's
He
special.
beat. Kobe didn't want people to know. He beat. Norris Bell did a dunk at Iowa State that he took off from the baseline and just kept going up, 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 up. I'm like, what the? Unreal.
Yep.
Whereas Tavares jumped over a 6'8" dude.
We got the film of that one. He jumped over him at the ISA. And still was climbing. Still was climbing.
Still climbing. You understand? Those were the Bells, man. Those were the Bells.
That's the pick. That's the pick.
Come on now. Okay, it's the Bells. Okay.
That's the pick. Who's the best dunker? Who's the best dunker out of them two?
So Norris was pure smooth. Norris was smooth, man. He really was. Yeah. Norris just screwed himself up. Okay, he lost focus because Norris was just smooth.
He's a pro.
So, okay, Norris was a pro. I'm just telling you, and he'll tell you that I lost focus. Norris was a pro.
Facts.
He was that guy. And Tavares though was that like he just dunked all over you. That was Norris. So when you ask me, I'm gonna say to you, take one, I'll take the other. It doesn't matter. They were both that prolific. Okay. Tavares though, but I will tell you, Tavares was more of a dog.
Yeah.
Tavares was a dog. I mean, I'll never forget Tavares dunking a 7-footer. The guy to the gym and he said, my brother Noah dunked on you, and now I just dunked on you, and my brother Damon's gonna dunk on you too.
He's about to dunk on you next year.
There you go. That was Tavares. Okay, that's just the way he was. Okay. Then you had my best playmaker. This one was tough because to me, like I said, we had a lot of great point guards.
Yes, you did.
I thought about Greg Nunn, and when I say best, I meant the guy who knew I just need you to facilitate.
I got to set up everybody.
I got to set up everybody.
Yeah, I got to set everybody up.
I had you were pretty good, at that because you knew what you had around you, okay? Darius Burton. Darius, man, I think about some of the games we could have won if he would have been there, but he was busy playing soccer, okay, because he was that good. But Darius and Skip together, we didn't lose much. I'm just telling you. And but at the end of the day, I got to give the Skip to my lose.
Skip.
I gotta get the Skip to my lose. Because Skip
was tough one because I thought you was gonna lean towards Showtime too.
Well, listen, Showtime was let me tell you. That's another story, another time. They were all good, but Skip would come in, do the behind the back pass. Skip with that guy, put a little flair.
Oh no, Skip was part of. I mean, he created a culture unlike any other. Yeah,
culture.
That's the pick. That's the right pick.
You know what? And my most prolific score, I would probably say was Lenny Cook. Lenny Cook would wake up and give you 20. He would just wake up. He already had 20.
Yeah.
Lenny Cook, after he played LeBron James at the camp, LeBron took off and Lenny went down. But Lenny, honestly, was that guy. Like, totally can't miss. That people just, when we walked on the floor, we were already up 10 points.
Yeah, he was a can't miss.
Yep. He was a can't miss.
He was a can't miss.
And the guy that won the most championship, I know Jason said, I won the most championship because Jason sometimes we laugh.
He had maybe the best summer too, right?
Okay, yes. But the guy that probably won the most championship was Charlie Villanueva.
Yes.
Because Charlie played with him for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
so
Charlie
over all the years put together, he was there. He did a year in prep. So, so those guys,
dang, that's
it's crazy. But I got to tell you, like some of the best big men I had, the Posies, okay? Those two boys, I mean, we come in looking good. Ed Brown, Ed Brown just had a soft touch for a big man.
Absolutely.
He really did. He had it, I mean, so we just said, oh, listen, I gotta tell you something. Like, I love Maurice Curtis.
Oh
Love the
yeah.
guy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mo was that dude. But it's amazing to me though that
We see.
when I think about our history, I think about some of the guys like the Paul and the S1 and the guy Williams and guys like that who, like I said, was there for us in the beginning, and I'm always thankful to them,
Yes.
for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to help them,
Yes.
to get to where we was at. So yeah, that's
And
what I
it's
would say.
and it's vice versa, Gary. You was kind of the conduit to opening up the basketball world for us, right? You seen and had the foresight to say, hey, listen, these guys need the exposure. After you had that tournament, you said, man, we need a collection of guys. So you were the catalyst to opening up the basketball world for Long Island. And we salute you for that. It changed the culture, um, especially as basketball culture was changing. You started getting more notoriety through the magazines, through the social media, the internet, right? Right in that time frame where we're starting to get that cutting edge looks, you was creating essentially a dynasty,
Yeah,
essentially what you was, and
yeah,
you opened up New York City to Long Island. Then you opened up the rest of the country to us, man. So we're forever indebted to you for doing that
nah,
and being
thank you,
able to
man.
be you. And you stayed you the whole time. And you was able to really navigate to us with just being
Yeah,
honest with
yeah,
us, man, and holding us down and really all of those things, man. And for you to have your success coming from Long Island, right? You grew up
yep,
on Long Island just like
yep,
we did,
yep.
man. Hats off to you, man. You are a walking legend, man, and I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate you coming on this platform, and I really look forward to all the different things that you have going on for you and the family and the business. And I hopefully look forward for us to do some things together. And
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely,
picking
man.
your brain and trying to build with you as well.
No, we're gonna keep it going, man. Matter of fact, my daughter, my bougie, one, the young one, Dominique Charles, she's gonna start doing some things too. And so if I didn't say her name, man, it was gonna be over for me. So make sure I said that. But yeah, um, and hey, look at that DC. What's up, buddy?
It
How you doing,
is.
man? Yeah, man, that was my boy, man. He was a baller. You
Sleepy.
know, so I'm saying sleepy, man. It's so funny you said that. I'm like, I was just about to yell out, sleepy. And
Sleepy.
but Sleepy, man, Sleepy was a baller, man. So I just felt so bad for a lot of those guys that didn't get the opportunity. But thank you, for doing this, man, because you're doing a heck of a job, with this, okay. And and there was other guys too, from the '70s, who
Yeah.
were doing their thing that didn't get the opportunity. So it's all good, man.
It is, man. I mean, I think this is just kind of like this is a time stamp, right, for us to celebrate you. But I think there's more opportunities for us to continue to share the platform with stories, information, and like you're saying, and you're doing with your business, being able to pay it forward. We're educating,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
through different things, man. So that's kind of what the platform is, man. So this was obviously a treat for everybody. And I thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. I know you're always moving and grooving.
yeah, yeah. But it's all good, man. That's what this is all about, man. So thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Okay,
Much love, Guy,
okay.
man. We'll be
All
talking
right.
offline,
You
man.
got it.
And
Okay.
yup,
Take
I
care.
appreciate you.
All right.
Have a good night.
You too. Yep.
That was dope, Guy.